Well, speaking of maps, let's pull up the map veto and continue on with YeaH Gaming and Loki, actually. Loki won 8-6 on Border, 7-2 and 7-3 victory after that for YeaH Gaming on Bank and Consulate. So there are a lot of skewed things. There's some closer maps, but then the others are kind of not the same. And okay, Coast and Villa. Oh yeah, really, they're sticking to Villa. And well, in this case, it's Team 1. Just to remind you, by the way, YeaH Gaming were the ones that picked Coastline, and then you see obviously Attack in the orange. That's because Team 1 picked to start on Attack, and same thing, Villa picked by Team 1. YeaH Gaming picked to start off on the defense, which makes a lot of sense. Looking at Team 1's recent history being so great at Villa, at least in their matchup versus Guidance, that you start off on the side that is more favored, you rack up more points, and really try to play the mind games later on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the bans at all. So it was YeaH Gaming that liked to bring out Border every once in a while during the regular season. That was kind of their wild card map, their ace up the sleeve. They used it twice during the regular season versus Team 1, who didn't play Border at all. They also didn't play Bank, to the best of my knowledge. But again, the maps for the last 4 games of the regular season aren't there.
They actually don't exist.
Yeah, they're just not. They're not there. But anyway, if you go through the first 10 games of the regular season, Team 1 really stuck to Oregon. That was one of their strongest maps, but it's also been a strong map as a whole for the region. They didn't delve outside of Bank, Coastline, Oregon. That was kind of their 3. And then for YeaH Gaming, they kind of spiced it up a little bit with Border.
Yeah.
And they trended a little bit further away from the Coastline.
It's like, this is bread, this is very spicy kind of thing. It's not as spicy as you think. Villa definitely adding more spiciness to the games.
Yeah.
And you know, with that 7-1 victory, it does make sense that you would try to go for the map and really play it as your second one. The decider, though, is Bank, and that's where things in Latin America usually get much more heated. And I really hope we don't see the same return to fashion of, oh, we're going to try to stick with Clyde the whole time and then actually fail the whole time and trying to make it happen. That was a hell of a game, I have to say. That said, see what you guys think about all of this, because it should be popping up here, and Latin American fans, they talk about Team 1, 68% to 32. And frankly, I don't think we are allowed to weigh in on this time around.
No. They're numbers on a screen to me. I don't know the teams, so this is going to be interesting. I mean, favor the 1 seed, man. Favor the 1 seed.
They're literally called Team 1, so there you go.
They're the number 1 seed. They're statistically better in a vacuum of 14 best of 1s, and then 1 best of 3 in the playoffs.
And this is the thing that really irks us, is that we want to talk about LATAM CL just like we do with NA and EU.
Oh, yeah.
Because the matches are all broadcasted. We get to watch through those matches. We get to ask different casters, like, okay, what do you think about all of this? Is there anything that sparks your interest looking at these matches? And how we watch those games ourselves sitting at home. You know, the viewing parties are very real when it comes to the Pro League and even USN casters getting together and watching the matches that are there, because there's always something to learn. Now, unfortunately, we can't have that with Latin America, which breaks our hearts.
Yeah.
And I would like to extend this olive branch, caster branch, again, I guess, in saying, please, if you would like to cover stuff and start off your career in esports, not only can you do that by playing via the ESL website and Go4 and Challenger League playoffs and all the Challenger League qualifications that we're going to have very, very soon, but also as a commentator or an analyst, because we're still in dire need of that, specifically for Latin America. So I don't want to beg.
Kind of sounds like you're begging, though.
It's almost as if I don't have enough Rainbow Six in my life, and I would like to have a bit more of that. Thank you very much.
That's a bold proposition. There's already a lot, like you said, but yeah, we do need coverage on Latin American Challenger League, so we don't have scenarios like this where we just... Typically what happens with some of this is during the course of the regular season, whenever we're casting and preoccupied with other projects, it's we don't get to watch every Challenger League game, so before we go in to do relegations, we'll do some VOD review. There's no VODs to review. There's kind of nothing out there to look at, to study. So we'd like that opportunity to be able to study and do our job
Yeah, I thought my studies would end at university. However,
No.
you know what they tell you? Like, oh, when you're done with school, when you're done with university, you're never going to do any homework anymore. They lied.
They lied.
Because that's literally all.
And if anyone ever told any of you out there that, they were lying square to your face.
Because all we do is eat sushi, complain about life, and review VODs.
Yeah, that's a very, very accurate description of the last 3 months.
Or do what we did today. Can we tease it for a bit?
Sure, why not? We got time to fill. We're waiting on a player to get back in the lobby. We have tech issues.
Yes. Well, the players too, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, today, well, there's, here in Poland currently, there's 5 casters, or 4 casters and a host that doesn't cast really anymore, that are working in Milan next week, right? Well, we kind of all got together with part of our video team, our social media team, and we filmed something. It's inspired by something else.
It is.
And I have to say, I think some of us should retire and become actors.
I would not agree with that statement.
I said some. I didn't say all of us, Robert. I think I do not want to point any fingers at this point.
I don't think a single one of us could make it as an actor. Not one.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We're ready. Yes. Okay.
Game's going.
So let's actually head into the game. We'll make sure that everything is set. And then we'll get in. There you go. Coastline. It's so sunny. It's so wonderful. And DreamHack Valencia is actually coming up very, very soon. So it's like double whammy.
Middle of July.
Very much the case. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Team 1 versus YeaH Gaming. Our first map in this best of 3 series. Winner is in Pro League. It's that simple. That's all. This is what I love so much about finally getting to watch NA Relegations, is that there was so much on the line.
Yeah.
And just a few rounds separated teams from a completely new life to a life shattered. It's a lot of emotion to take in, that's for sure. Let's see here. Jackal Finka banned on the attacking side. Finka is definitely a... Do I use caster term 101?
I mean, you could.
Interesting.
I'm going to go with LATAM specific.
Haha, that's a very good point.
Is I guess a more colorful way of painting the same picture. Weird ban. Doesn't really get banned out all that often.
No.
But does get utilized quite heavily in Latin America in comparison to the other regions. So,
I mean, what, other regions, if you look at it, ENCE is kind of the only team that really went heavy on Finka for a few games during the season.
Yeah.
Well, no longer ENCE, that's Mouse Sports. So.
That is true.
So here we are. Capital with the changes definitely has had an even higher surge in pick rate. So definitely excited to see where this ends up going. Twitch as well is an operator that doesn't see much play in other regions, especially in this case since Mira is banned. So you're kind of looking at it as, what's the big reason behind it with the fact that she's not here? Well, you got Maestro, right? You need to deal with them somehow.
Yep, starting out on the kitchen and service, that's also a bit of an odd one. Typically we start over by Hookah or start over by the Sunrise and Blue Bar, but nonetheless it'll be YeaH Gaming starting their defensive stand on the first map, which again, like we said, for the first map for both of these teams in their best of 3s, they lost both of them. It was Border for YeaH Gaming, it was Oregon for Team 1, neither being the case here in map number 1 in this best of 3 series. And as you said, winner is auto-promoted into Pro League. And the loser will have to play against Red Devils, a team that was not able to piece together one singular win in the back 7 games of Latin American Pro League. The setup right now for YeaH Gaming, extremely horizontal. Not a lot of vertical investment other than Guy upstairs right now. Making some bullet holes into the back of the theater wall with a rotation towards the stairs. And it'll be an entry in from Rise into the office.
Yeah, with Nomad, it's kind of a mixed bag. A lot of players like to run the AK. Some others want to go for the ARX. It's just that extra damage on the ARX really... most people really underestimate how important it is, just because the amount of just pure sheer damage that it can do. But I like the way that a lot of the setup from YeaH Gaming is very flexible. There's a lot of holes everywhere to at least get some information on the attacker positions and what they're planning to do. And audio propagation is also a very important thing because we rarely get to touch on it because we don't get to see the POV and hear the POV of the players. And just having these holes opened up, they allow for Zhao and YeaH to kind of move around and play through the map. You see Team 1 are really focusing on the bar side of the map, not so much on the top floor. They continue to drone, they continue to try and find some sort of openings against YeaH Gaming, but right now this is just giving YeaH more and more time to play around with and more time to kind of maneuver around the map. You see the goo mines are just set everywhere here for the Legion. So he just has so much map control, map vision, that he has just pure utility watching his back.
A problem here for Team 1 as they begin to stall out. There's not a lot of progression here. Very heavy set towards the west side of the map, and Rise has made his way all the way down the office hallway and the Twitch drone of, how'd you pronounce that before? Scheduler? Something along those lines. Anyway, the Twitch will make his way in through, or at least with the drone anyway, into VIP. Reduct as well, peering down the hallway. We'll take a first engagement finally as we start ticking down to the final minute. Asphyxiating bolts and smoke bolts will come out as it seems to be a full send here from Team 1 into the kitchen door. Rise will pick the first kill of the evening onto Fajal. He will drop and sprays come wildly out from in behind the kegs. Destiny will be down but revived and then finished off once again by that ARX. Plant going down from Falls and he'll be successful. Still got PDR inside of that kegs rotation. He drops one of Falls. He's got 4 more to find though. He needs help from YeaH, who needs to rotate in towards the bathroom hallway and take down anyone remaining on the flank. There goes Reduct, and now spraying in. PDR with 3 on the round. A vault coming out, and the F2 will shoot right through. YeaH, though, Skadola will drop him down, and now on 5 HP, it's Rise. To end it, PDR will fall. That's Team 1 stalled that attack into the dire, desperate moments, but they're able to collect the first round on the attacking side.
Yeah, using the smokes excellently there to execute and plant as soon as possible. The Maestro really tried to hold on for as long as possible, and I really have to credit this defense, just being able to stay in power positions for so long, but they couldn't really use them to their advantage effectively. It was a lot closer than what you think in that situation, and the timing execution from Team 1 was definitely well done. And I really hope that this means this series is going to continue to go back and forth throughout the whole of it. An interesting change from Maestro to the Echo. Obviously, you're playing Hookah in this case, so the Maestro always strong in pretty much whichever site you put him on in the entire game, including pretty much anything here on Coastline. But having the Echo, just by seeing the playstyle of the attacking side of Team 1, you see that they're relying very heavily on the execution. So they use the smokes, they lock down rotation locations from the defenders and try to plant within it, which is very standard. It works very well. The Echo is here to give you that information through the smoke and to do something about it, because Maestro cameras are great, but they're not as good as they were, for a very good reason. And thank God they're not, as an avid Maestro player myself. So, all that said, Echo, great operator to switch to. No real need for Team 1 to change things up. You see, they're only bringing the Habana here as more of a flexibility, but Habana as a flex hard breach on Coastline is a pretty good thing to have. Not too shabby as a whole operator lineup.
Yeah, there's points across the map of Coastline that you can utilize a little bit of hard breaching, but the grand majority of the map, it's not going to be the most influential utility, at least on the outcome of a round, especially for a site execute. Unless you're attacking in towards Penthouse and Theater, an objective we rarely see defended anymore, with the availability of the other 3 being much stronger, and the prospect of being able to come in with a defensive stand on it also much more promising. Your eyes on a quick entry in here, but it's YeaH to shut down Reduct, as there goes the Capitao that was so instrumental in getting that plant down last round for Team 1. He'll be the first casualty outside of this theater stairs window. Rise is going to hit the rappel, but stay at the bottom of this wall. He does not want to rappel up into the crosshairs of YeaH, holding a very tight angle in the window, as is Rise. Standoff with no real, I guess, culmination, but Lukid will take down YeaH on a bit of a flank. So good distraction measure there from Rise to be able to work in tandem with the teammates. They'll rappel in. It's Team 1, at least bringing one back.
Yeah, the drones from Lukid were very important in that case, and the Legion couldn't really do much in that situation. The fact that he got 50% damage done onto Nomad is not too shabby, but then you're being pushed by both the Nomad and the Zofia, and at some point you're just going to die. So it's a very good operator to take off the board, but the Nomad's at 50%. The Capitao is now dead, so a lot of utility lost for that kill. I have to say, it's a worthy sacrifice in this situation. Scorpion really close up here, even with the Scorpion Charm, with PDRN setting up his yokai drone inside of the lounge, just making sure that he keeps tabs this whole time on his opponents, and the Habana, obviously that extra flexibility gives you the angle through the hallway that you need to shut down your opponents. And the wall actually left soft from, I think it's just a hole from the top. Can't really see exactly what it showed in here, but there's a lot of very smart utility usage from the attacking side here to try and open up as much as possible and force YeaH into defensive positions that are a bit too exposed.
Good thing here for Team 1 is they do have the Nomad to try and afford a little bit of warning for a possible flank, but you have Scorpion and Destiny that were both playing downstairs. There goes another member of YeaH Gaming, though, as Fragile will drop. There goes your Alibi. Not the most crucial operator in the midst of the end of the round, but Skydola as well will take down PDR, so now it's down to Destiny and Scorpion, the two members for YeaH Gaming off-site. Plant attempting to go down there for Falls for a second, but he's on 1 HP cut down from the rooftops, and Falls will now begin to set down the diffuser. Coming up the Cool Vibe stairs, Destiny alone will have no support, you'll have no victory. That'll be Rise cleaning up the round yet again, being the finishing blow and the starting point for Team 1. They'll take a quick 2-0 lead.
So far, the second attack was much more efficient, I have to say, even with the fact that the Legion was able to do so much damage. The Echo gave information, but it wasn't really utilized correctly, now was it? You just have your opponents kind of slipping through your fingers in all the holes that they open up themselves through the defense, and in that case, well, you're kind of giving up your valuable assets. And I really hope that does not continue more and more throughout the match. Again, with 2 rounds, the first one being much closer, but it relied heavily on the Maestro, and in this case, we see the switch back to the Maestro. It makes a lot of sense here. And which site we're going to go through, it didn't quite catch that. It seems like we're going to go back to the bars. Yeah, okay, so we're going down to the bars. Both Echo and Maestro are great operators in this situation. I like the Castle pick in this case, though, from YeaH Gaming, because Team 1 are still running the same operators. They don't really have much in the way of soft destruction. They're relying a lot on the Zofia in this case, correct? And they have the Habana. While she's there, she's going to give them extra angles, but, well, there's the Castle Barricade. You can still use her X-Kairos on it, and it's okay. You can't sacrifice too much. However, the Castle here is going to make sure you're slowed down, and there's not much that you can do against your opponents that are kind of forcing you down very specific hallways to take you out through it. But will YeaH actually utilize the sort of information and power that they have? That's the real question, because they really haven't so far.
Yeah, and we talk about Latin America, you know, having its own little, I guess, niche meta inside of the region. We talk about, you know, the big 3 defenders that typically get banned out, which would be Mira, Maestro, and Echo, and how Echo seems to be the least favorite child of those 3 in Latin America, and yet both Maestro and Echo made it through the ban phase. And we're seeing a ban of Clash favoring over an Echo or a Maestro. Just an interesting point on the defenders, considering that neither of these teams, at least anything that was reported and recorded on Liquipedia, I did not see a Clash ban coming out from either of these teams throughout the entirety of the Challenger League season. Looks like drone work being dispatched up here for YeaH and possibly any air jabs that were misplaced by Rhyme. Again, to stall out for those flanks, but last time around, it wasn't the flank that was the issue for YeaH Gaming, it was the site control, losing all 3 members that were originally on the objective in favor of both members that were on the flank being last alive. Destiny will fall, and PDR now is down to about 10 HP inside of Kitchen as well, and that's Sunrise Door actually looking into Kitchen. This is an issue here if you're YeaH Gaming. Again, your site members seem to be having difficulty staying alive for the majority of the round.
There's still an armor panel. I was just gonna say, like, did the Castle just use all his barricades? Because usually you barricade Kitchen, right? Make sure that this side lane is closed, unless you want to go aggressive against it, which is completely fine, obviously. But in this case, kind of begs the question: is it really worth it to do it? Especially with the kind of operators that have been picked so far. Oh, this is a bit too much. Biting off a bit more than he can chew. For Zhao will get the kill on Falls. That's one thing, but Lukid with a quick refrag, and the Habana X Kairos will manage to open up hole for the attacker. Scorpion taking a headshot from the ARX. Bit of damage done with the goo mine, but look at that. In the red, the last two defenders, and they're close. Holding on the same angle for the hallway here in the kitchen. The attacker's just locking in from the opposite side. There's a twitch. There's an F2 ready to headshot you instantly. That's one. One bullet for the second. They know he's in the back, and you're going to see the side of him. No, PDRN will get one. Spraying the back, he finds the headshot of Lukid. 2v1. Rise watches this, spots him, but PDRN is still alive somehow. The diffuser's already been set, but Reduct is going to turn around. And with a 2-4-9, the Capital will save the day. That was way too close for comfort there. The battle of the LMGs, Robert. I wish you could see his face.
Okay.
Okay there, bud.
Okay. You know what I want to say, I just can't say it. Wow. It seems
that
like...
was so close.
So I guess we kind of just got to decide this on the spot. Do we want to call him PDR or Pedrin?
PDR.
PDR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pedrin is going to...
Pedrin. Hey, I can kind of roll my R's, all right? I'm trying to fit in.
It's like a Russian name.
Pedrin.
Pedrin.
Ah, true, yeah.
Pedrin.
Pedrin.
Yeah.
True.
Привет, товарищ Pedrin.
Regardless of what we end up calling him, and I guess it'll be PDR.
Yes.
Guy's kind of the sole bright spot right now for YeaH Gaming, which is, again, a mean thing to say through 3 rounds. But also, put him in a clutch situation with Ronaldo, and he's got a chance. The rest of the team, however, not so much. Just a lot of missed engagements, and I mean, yeah, you got 6 kills, all of which happened to be in 1vx's or 2vx's.
Yeah.
For the rest of YeaH Gaming, I mean, it's site control. Same thing in back-to-back rounds. Site members losing massive amounts of HP or just their lives in general. And then the roamers are the last that have to try and retake. And you saw a little bit of both there. PDR's supporting cast being removed from play earlier on the objective. And then YeaH was the last, the lone man to try and help PDR. And he was offside and had to retreat down the Cool Vibes stairs. And they ended up stacking on one another.
One thing I want to highlight is that there's a lot of soft walls being opened up here by the defense. This is a very flexible way of playing, and it is of course very, very valid. It really depends on how you want to play it. However, in this case, because you're not really able to hit your shots correctly against Team 1 that are mostly running these ACOGs that you're not really able to deal with, then there's some point where you might decide on, you know, maybe we don't want to open up that many positions anymore, because even in this sort of defense, you look at the top floor. We can't because we don't have our own observer. The complete wall by the minibar by the pool table is not reinforced. There's a part of it that is still left open. And sure, you can say, yeah, well, the Habana's going to open it anyways, but at the same time, the Habana wants to open up the angle here in the hallway by the lounge. So you kind of want to force Team 1 to use as much utility as possible and waste as much time before their offense. So I think there are better ways of doing it, but I can see what is being planned by YeaH. It's just unfortunate that they were not really able to execute the plan correctly. The order itself is not being done.
Well, saw a little bit of a run out earlier on from Scorpion on the Rook, going for a run out outside of the hookah balcony. He's able to land a couple shots onto Luka to drop into 75. But outside of that, not a lot has happened once again. Team 1 like to take their time. Almost 2 minutes in every round so far. Destiny slowly encroaching onto an air jab, and he'll spot that out and remove it from play. YeaH will also support him at the base of the theater stairs. So you got a double stack now to come in for the flank, but Flashbang is seemingly well aware of the positioning of the YeaH Gaming flankers. You also have the Evil Eye still causing a lot of havoc inside of sight and stalling out Team 1. The attempted flank now as they all come charging up, but it's Reduct to take down Destiny. Turning the corner, YeaH will also fall. Reduct on a rampage now at the M249. Scorpion trying to lock down the site, so it's a difference of turn of events here for YeaH Gaming. The roamers will fall, but the anchors still well at large. Scorpion will take down one before eventually falling to Lukid, and you got PDR now and YeaH once again in a 2v4. Same scenario as last round, but the plant is not going down from Team 1. They don't have site control. They have to worry about the billiards being surrendered. Turning the corner now is YeaH to take this engagement and land a beautiful headshot onto Skydola. So there goes your Twitch. Now pushing up the Cool Vibe stairs, though. Where the rotation is YeaH YeaH, and he'll turn towards the stairs as well, dropping Rhyme. Falls taking damage as well. It's down to a 2v2. There goes PDR. 2v1, dying seconds on the clock. The other side of the soft wall looking through the punch holes, right up against the walls, the plank going down into the overtime, and all he has to do is vault and hit the shot in the left hand, but Lucan on the hold. YeaH will fall. Valiant attempt there for YeaH Gaming, but it's 4 in a row for Team 1.
Oh my god, and I put my hand on that monitor saying he still has an impact grenade. That would really put off the Zofia. But again, in that sort of situation where there's so much on the line, hindsight is always 20/20. And you can't really fault the player much for not doing that. But it's just something to keep in mind. You have the utility, see what you can do with it. And in that case, it was so close. The Maestro held on for as long as possible. The time was so close to going away. And then the vault. Unfortunate. That's it. YeaH are fighting back, but unfortunately fighting back doesn't just win you. You need to actually put rounds on the board. And very cool to see the Doc running the bulletproof camera, which it's been a while since I've rambled on about bulletproof cameras, but they're great bits of utility. And I really wonder where he's going to be putting those. So hopefully we get to see where this goes, because again, we're not in control of the observing here to see where things go and to not. Still, the same attacking lineup for Team 1. And I have to ask you at this point, what's the real reason behind it, Robert?
I mean, you got a Swiss Army knife here with these operators. There's no one that excels in one area and has a deficiency in the other for this lineup. The only thing I can think of, honestly, is the Hibana from Falls. That's kind of your one drawback point, and that's only because it's Coastline, so you have that availability of, hey, if we don't want to run a hard breacher, we don't actually have to. Outside of that, I mean, you got your flank hold, you've got your information on the Twitch with being able to take down utility as well. Your Capitao is basically going uncountered. Your Zofias are never coming into contact with the ADSs. Like, you're in a good spot here. You have a lot of utility balanced across the board. You also have a lot of 2-2s, so the ability to take damage in engagements, and also, honestly, very, very well-placed weapons for fragging. We talk about Latin America with their fragging ability at every single level. No matter where you go, their aim is on point. And all the weapons that are being carried by T1 right now, pretty beneficial in gunfights.
And speaking of beneficial, that air jab. Oh, man. He really wants to dive. But that dive through security might prove a bit too difficult for him to pull off. And he's going to fall back. And now play in the back of the theater. Upstairs, giving his teammates on the site. Team 1 in the meantime, working through reinforcements. A similar setup that we saw before here played by YeaH. But the holes are going to be opened up. And what's the Nomad doing? Rise, just not expecting anybody to be behind this. For some reason, no drones are locking him down. And finally, a drone comes in, but a bit too late. You lost the player for free. And there you go, more drones being lost, unfortunately, here for Team 1. No top map control as well, which won't give Team 1 that vertical accessibility for them to push players off of their regular positions. And now they'll have to fight a long angle against the Doc. More spray in. This Destiny takes a lot of damage here from Lucan. He's going to be able to heal himself up, though. That's definitely not a problem. Luca taking more damage in the same angle now. Opened up by the attackers. Is going to get used by the defense. Scadiola is able to find one as well as Falls, and on the cross, none will be found. Scadiola flicks on in and finds Destiny. PDRN taken away as well. It's Falls with the kill, and Scorpion kind of trying to find his way back. Scadiola that'll yell all the way from the other side of the hallway, get over here! And that's the round. 5-0 up for Team 1. Even with the advantages that YeaH are sometimes able to grab. No victory to be found.
Again, it's off the backs of one individual. It's PDR right now on just a show-stopping spree. And outside of that, for YeaH Gaming, not a lot shown up, unfortunately. And really, it doesn't really come down to positioning. As much as I never really want to fault the team purely on gunfights, there's a lot of scenarios so far that have come out for YeaH Gaming where it's, if you just hit your shot, like it came down to a 1v1, win your ones, man. it's gotten to the point now where we've witnessed a lot of whiff shots. Destiny there looking down the hallway, coming in a blue bar. We saw it from Scorpion earlier on the castle when he was upstairs just outside of VIP hallway behind the planter. There's been a myriad of examples of members on YeaH Gaming not hitting their shots, and I'm not sure if that's just nerves right now, knowing what's at stake in this game, because there's no way they get to this point looking like that.
Yeah.
There's no way they get to this point looking how they've looked in this entirety of the game, with one member showing out and everyone just kind of along for the ride. They're clearly capable of more. Maybe Coastline just tonight isn't their map. I think they have a decent history on Coastline as well, at least from what I was able to review for the course of the regular season. Not sure if they have other tournaments that they've participated in that aren't recorded that have Coastline results, stuff like that. But for YeaH Gaming, I mean, this is supposed to be a comfortable map. You got to worry as well, though. Team 1 then heading to Villa in map number 2 with Bank as the decider. Coastline was your opportunity for YeaH Gaming to really take a strike at Team 1. Take that first map, set the tone. Right now, going down 5-0 on the verge of getting wiped off the map, you're putting yourself in an extreme disadvantage later on just because of how the maps have trended for the rest of the season for you.
So one thing, BR6 also has City Bay, which isn't broadcasted, but Team 1 is number 2 on there with Keat Stars right above them. Guidance are as well, but we don't have YeaH in the tournament, at least not just yet. So there's that to look into. They're able to take down Santos Dexterity 7-1, 2-0, actually, only a bit ago. So well, actually, no, that's March. That's a while ago. So yeah, there's not much to look at when it comes to history as well. But that's it. Look at taking a lot of damage early on the Zofia. A lot of sprays here through the walls. Rise will find 1 kill, and the peak right in the line of fire. Destiny sealing his own, I have to say. The headshot from Ryduct will dispatch him pretty quickly, and Peter N. hand freeze. This time at least it's not YeaH. They're last alive. Bit of damage done by the Twitch drone. This will give info on the Maestro's location. But now you really don't want to peek against him. You want your teammates as well to give information. And you heard the shot going into the Twitch. This will force the Twitch back, at least for just a bit, as the flanks come in on the attacking side.
You got a pinch now coming in through luggage as PDR will be cut off by Ryduct again. That M249 so powerful this evening, and that new scope is going to continue to be. Fragile will try and cut off any pushes from VIP. But it's a clean sweep for Team 1 as Lukid will end the round after being previously downed and then standing back up with the withstand property of Zofia. It's a clean sweep on the attacking side for Team 1. 6-0 lead on Coastline, map number 1 in this best of 3 against YeaH Gaming. It's backs against the wall time here for YeaH Gaming, and for T1, 1 round, you locked it out. You're ready to go to map 2.
This is very well done by Team 1, I have to say.
Yeah.
If this is how they're going to continue through. Now, obviously, they're kind of having a bit of an easier time against YeaH. I'm not too sure why. But this is looking pretty well for the organization to come back into Pro League, because Team 1 was in Pro League before. Different lineup, that's for sure. But they get to come back into LATAM PL. All it takes is total victory. If they win this map and the one after it, that's it. Your career has been made. You have 6 months now of comfort, knowing that your contract is going to keep going for the next six months on the organization. You're going to get paid, and you're going to have a bit extra price pool from playing in Pro League and having more visibility in front of all the fans and all the players that are looking out for new blood in the scene. And Latin America, from speaking to the Latin American casters, all of them, they're all telling me there's so much raw talent that is still hidden in Challenger League, that is still hidden in players that are just very soon hitting 18, that there's a lot to look out for. And we've seen the effect of players like that what they've had on regions like North America, regions like EU over the past year. It is very scary what the fresh blood can do, and we've seen a lot of the old guard from back in year 1 disappear, because sometimes you just can't measure up to what the new guys have to offer, even though you might be one of the OGs.
Not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Well, Scorpion's going to start things off on a better note than the first half did. Rise will fall, and there goes your Maestro, an operator that's been so instrumental in at least keeping the defensive set alive for YeaH Gaming when they were on their half. Now they transition to the attack, and Scorpion will start things off on the IQ. An operator we didn't see a whole lot of, and actually at all, in the first half, because as you noted, Team 1 had 5 operators they wanted to play, and they didn't deviate from the path at all through 6 rounds. We now have a situation where YeaH Gaming have changed things up a little bit. Zhao is taking the buck, and we have Scorpion on the IQ. Still rocking a lot of Nomad here. Will be both teams on the attacking side of Coastline, just trying to limit already how many few rotations there are on Coastline. You don't have a lot of options as far as horizontal rotations. Typically just 2 hallways, or take your chances with jumping into the courtyard. Yeah,
you have a couple hatches as well. The security hatch that gets used every now and then, but really, if you're going in blind, it really takes massive cojones to pull that off and even attempt it. Now you see Ree is already down and very close to finishing off the Legion now, who's just screaming on the side. There you go. I was like waiting for someone to hook him on something. YeaH will find the kill. Reduct has been taken away, falls, and look at the last 2 alive. And this is just absolute destruction from YeaH's side. It's just a shame that it's coming so late. Look at trying to rotate into the bathroom here to fight. The Buck is on his own. He's been spotted. He'll try to fire in, and so much damage done to the Jaeger. But look at will come on top. Very cleanly taken away as well. FMG9 in the pocket here falls to use, and they're going to zap. Oh, no. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Unfortunate.
And quick kill. YeaH. ARX 200. Couple shots is all it takes. Honestly, that 308 is absolutely massive. It does so much damage, this gun. If you have any sort of accuracy, it's so good.
Well, accuracy is going to be needed here. That's 1 round in the bank, in the back pocket of YeaH Gaming. You need 5 more just to push into overtime. Just a refresher on the rules for everyone, just in case you haven't seen everything, I guess.
I mean, yeah, well, everything that's not regular Pro League, I guess, right?
Yeah. So
remember, these are still best of 3s.
Yeah, they're best of 3s. There is overtime, but it's not infinite overtime or anything like that that we experience with the 6 Invitational. It is just 3-round overtime. They change sides every round.
I don't know if we have 48 hours to spare.
No.
Good.
No, we definitely don't.
Well, that said, Mute actually going to be played this time around. Replacement for the Smoke. Pretty good to see that. We talked about it so much in the past few months that, hey, he's now very viable, even more than before, and he can replace the Smoke, and indeed he is. I just wonder what Team 1 really have to do to deal with YeaH in this situation, because, was that round just Team 1 trying to end it right then and there, getting more aggressive and getting ballsier with their shots, or was it really just YeaH Gaming completely outplaying them the whole time? Because looking back at the way the attacking side went, Team 1 really were in control for pretty much the entirety of that half.
Yeah, there weren't too many moments there in the first half where it looked like Team 1 were getting out of control or really losing any possibility of winning each round. There were scary moments where PDR tried to put the team on his back as that Maestro, but outside of that, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot going on there for YeaH Gaming as far as looking promising. Reductor's going to try and start things off onto Scorpion, trying to pay a little service back after the last round. The IQ will be searching and hunting for those Valkyrie cameras. Nonetheless, you've also got this set up at 90, which is the L joint of the hallway here on the 2nd floor. We're underneath the default camera. Destiny being dropped at about 5 HP. Oh, what a turn there. It's actually Lukid that will collect the kill, but beautiful turn nonetheless there from the Valkyrie. And that'll be Reduct on about 40 HP now, holding down the top floor. You had a lot of kill holes placed from down below from Falls as well in the Mute, waiting for anyone to push in. And Nitrocell will be prepped, but it's Reduct to collect the kill on Zhao. So YeaH Gaming losing 2 back-to-back, and they're on the verge of being eliminated here from map number 1.
Yeah, you're attacking the bottom floor, so what do? You try to take control of the top floor. Unfortunately, YeaH Gaming kind of struggling in, but as I say that, Bitter and Scorpion will find a kill each. YeaH with 1 more and turn it into a 2 versus 3 as PDR is down to half HP. Falls Unsure where the attackers will come from. Still has utility in the back pocket to use. But with everything being open and so much time actually left on the clock, Scorpion can just come in. You might not have the buck to use in a situation like this, but Scorpion on the IQ is running his breaching charges. So he can open up quite a bit of the floorboards here, especially with the most recent changes to those breaching charges. They just give you more space to work with, especially when set on these floor surfaces. Fall setting himself up in a position where that shotgun will do a ton of damage, but he has to worry about the holes that he opened himself on the top floor, and you already hear the floorboard being open up. If Rise can find the kill here, this can be huge, and an easy one with the fuser down. Gumine has also been set right in the hallway. Huge for Team 1.
That'll be Rise looking to lock it down, but he can't really afford to have Falls come over and help him, so he's going to have to do it on his own. Diffuser recovered immediately by Scorpion as he's narrowly able to evade those goo mines that were set in preparation. So Rise will be unaware that the diffuser has been collected, but the drone will give away the location and pushing down the shot as well. Ring out, collecting the default camera, and there goes one goo mine. You got about 2 more if you want to make it into the objective here for Scorpion, and there's not enough time for it, but a bad peek there from Falls will cost him his life. Rise will cut down Guy, though, as he tries to vault into the courtyard. It's down to the 1v1. Keep them alive on map number 1, but it's Rise to lock it out. Team 1 take map number 1, 7-1 on Coastline.
You're number 1, my man. It's a number 1 call, I have to say. That was a great comeback in the final round, I have to say. That was expertly done. Freeze being lost there at the end. Like how he threw it right into the mute as it got destroyed. But here we are. 8-8-10, and Drin and Guy really doing the work for their entire team. That's pretty huge, actually.
Yeah.
I want to credit this to the fact that maybe they're just not comfortable with Coastline.
It looked like, I mean, given their history, they should be comfortable on Coast, but you're right, they didn't look comfortable at all on that map, which is troublesome.
It's a bit too hot. You're like, well, I've got to take 1 layer off.
Yeah, you can see there 6 in a row for Team 1.
I really like this, by the way.
No time control. No plants. That resulted in the timer running out on the diffuser for a successful win. There was 1 plant down, maybe 2.
They tried to put the plant. There was 1 plant in the first
Yeah, there
round,
was a successful plant in the first
anyways.
round. Yeah. And I think in the 4th round as well on the cool bar, the blue bar, sunrise bar attack. Yeah, because it was right up to
planted
the
and then the
Capitao.
Capitao sprayed into the wall and then found the kill.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so with that said, we're actually going to allow our players here a bit of a break before we head into map number 2. I'll remind you, 7-1 victory here for map 1 we had here for Team 1. And they're going to get ready for map number 2. It's going to be Villa. So we'll see if we go to bank or not. We'll be back in just a few minutes for Relegations Latin America. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Latin America Relegations that got so hot in here with these matches that I had to take a layer off.
That's all the stripping we're going to do.
It's the layer cake. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no more.
I watched Layer Cake. So, you watched the movie?
No.
It's Daniel Craig.
Oh.
Watched it on the way here from a couple days ago. It's not too shabby. With that said, match number 1. Team 1, 7-1. Coastline 1? Coastline? No, that's a bit too far, is it? 7-1 victory on there. We head into map 2, Villa, which is an extremely technical map. There's a lot of things to look into Villa. And with that Maestro play that we saw in map 1 on Coastline, I'm really expecting more of it. But more teamwork. It shouldn't just be about the one player. Most of the time here, 2 players, the Legion plus the Maestro.
Yeah.
To kind of work a bit more together. The roam game just was not functional. You had a lot of map control if you're YeaH Gaming. You just never really were able to use it to your advantage, which is a big shame because creating the opportunities it's a skill on its own. It takes a lot of work and a lot of magic to get it done anyways. And then missed shots. When you have one shot, one opportunity, you don't just want to let it slip.
Mom spaghetti. Just vomit on his sweater already.
Yes.
And I mean, that's kind of what we're experiencing right now, which is it looks like YeaH Gaming have walked into this game unprepared. It looks like
I think they couldn't find the VODs either.
I mean, that's a problem, right? You can't do a lot of prep work. For a lot of teams around the world, no matter what level you're at, VOD review of your opponent is important. And that's just kind of not a thing for Latin American Challenge League teams, unfortunately. In this game, though, just in that map on Coastline alone, it looked like YeaH Gaming were just nervous. They weren't hitting their shots. It did not look like they were prepared. It looked like Team 1 came in the much more confident team, and they rode that momentum all the way to the finish line.
Yep.
You go up 6-0. You drop around because why not? You know,
it's all right.
7-0 is style points, but it doesn't do anything for you. You need 2 maps to get to Pro League. That's all you're focused on. And that's Team 1 putting 1 map of their 2 necessary to get to Pro League in the books. The only thing I will say, though, is that YeaH Gaming dropped the first map of their first best of 3 in these playoffs. And they prevailed. They came out 2-1 in their playoff game, but as did Team 1. They dropped their first map as well and still came away victorious. And honestly, one of the maps that was used most often by Team 1 was actually banned out by themselves. It was Oregon. It was the last map to be banned. Our decider was either going to be Oregon or Bank, and Team 1 elected to send it to Bank. So should we even need to get there, we can talk about the implications of banning out Oregon, one of your best maps, your Team 1. But for right now, we got map number 2. We're getting underway. It's Villa. It's Team 1. It's YeaH Gaming. It's backs against the wall time here for YeaH. If they lose this map, they will have to play Red Devils in another best of 3. If they're able to prevail here on Villa, starting on the defensive set, they will have a decent advantage to start out with. They might be able to push this to map 3 and pull another comeback as they did in their semifinals of the Challenge League playoffs.
So, how will this start? Habana being banned out. That's actually making a lot of sense, and I will talk through that later on because we talk about the Habana Thermite conundrum later. I don't know if Jackal's going to be the second operator removed. No, it's going to be Thatcher. All right. So the Habana ban makes a lot of sense just because Thatcher opens up big holes, but very easily counterable with impact tricking, right? Habana, not as much. So, makes a ton of sense. Echo banned out, which is actually something that Team 1 did quite a bit. Then YeaH really doesn't want to remove the Maestro from this. I think it'll be Mira taken away at the end. Similar to before. No, it'll be the Clash. Okay. Clash. Oh, we've seen so much Clash actually being played on this map. The team for EU played the Clash so well.
Yeah, and Clash has been coming out a lot more, I think, just in general throughout Pro League and a lot of different examples, and even a little bit in Challenge League. We saw the Soniqs running it. Super there for a bit was running primarily shields on Villa in the relegation games on Monday for North America. So for Clash in general, though, back-to-back bans. Clash banned on Coastline, Clash now banned on Villa. Clearly there's a...
it's a pattern.
Yeah, there's... I just wanted to... This is palpable to test for Clash coming out from the defensive side here and coming out from YeaH Gaming.
I wonder if it's because of the fact that it's a shield on defense.
Possibly.
Now, I know, it's a crazy idea.
Could be because it's a shield in general.
Oh, that's a very good point as well. Now, shield in general, but on defense and in hallways, that's like so many reasons.
Yeah, very, very tight corridors on Villa. And Clash is obviously demonstrated, like you said, with the stream, playing Clash a lot on Villa as of late. Really demonstrating the full effect of Clash on these tight corridor maps.
Keeney was very proud, I have to say.
Yes.
A little surströmming. But yeah, there's a lot of style points added when you play the Turtle game with the Clash. So not too shabby. But the mirror is going to be in play here, and that's a pretty interesting crouch level window. Now, what do you have on this attacking side? That's something I want to focus on. First of all, Habana's been banned. You're bringing only one hard breacher in the Thermite. There's impact grenades. Really have to see how this works out or does not. Another thing that I really want to highlight, the Buck. Taking kills from below, shoot, and even from the outside because Scorpion peeked out against you. Well, that's a freebie, as they would say. It's a common term nowadays. Jaeger's just taken off the map for YeaH, but there's still the Valkyrie around. There's no reinforcements being put in here, so YeaH are just trying to play blindly and just not really utilizing any utility for all this. Damage done to the Buck, but not enough to clean him off, and as Destiny walks away, he meets his own fate and his own demise. Scadiola will take him out. The second player as well, peeking around the hallway, and a quick shot to Gilly, a 3K for the Buck. They're presenting themselves to the attackers.
Seems to be a mirror image of what we were seeing on Coastline. Good dodge there from Reduct as he'll hit the deck immediately off that 90 window repel. So it's PDR and Frazao left alive here for YeaH Gaming.
Did you see that mirror window?
I did.
To watch the hallway with the softball? I like the idea because you want to play more aggressive in that situation with that sort of setup, but it didn't work out at all. You just get swatted like flies, literally in this situation. And we've seen those walls doing so much work at the end of the round. We're really able to draw down the time. And on Villa, it's a map that really helps the defenders to do that sort of thing.
Oof. Ballsy peek there from PDR, but it'll work out for him as there goes the Capitao. Very dominable operator last time around. You got the vault wall open, though, with a rotation hole, and that'll provide at least a bit more maneuverability here for Frazao, but he's got to worry about his backside as well, as they don't have the manpower to occupy 90 with, oh my, no one paying attention, though. Luke on the snap will take down Frazao, though, so there goes your smoke. It's PDR alone. He's been alone and on an island for a lot of these. That's a 4K for Skydiola on the Buck. That's an operator we also didn't see him running last time around. He does like these fast rate of fire weapons, though, going from the F2 on Twitch to the C8 on Buck. And why the hell not? Honestly, he's been on one lately. And Team 1 again start off on the attack, and they start off right, getting the first round handedly in the books for themselves. Talk about Villa. Talk about the way it's played. Talk about the outcomes on it and how it's predominantly a defender-sided map. Team 1 kind of don't look like they care. They're going to take every gunfight, and that's honestly just because YeaH Gaming were affording them every fight.
Yeah, and I will talk through the setup before I comment on it. If you saw how YeaH were playing, they had rotation hold that would have opened up from the vault into 90, which is very uncommon, but it's fine. Also, they had hard mirror window with a soft wall next to it to play close to the bar by 90 as well at the top of it, so close to the main stairs. A lot of soft walls played in these positions. What they allow you to do is getting more aggressive, as we saw the Mira do later on in the round. However, even with the fact that there weren't many reinforcements run in that position, nothing was really being played on the opposite side by the bedroom. And it's completely fine if you want to play two players by the bedroom. That's okay. It works. That's fine. But use some of your utility in that position. Give yourselves more power spots to play, because if you don't, you're just giving away advantages that literally just spawn with you at the start of the map. So, a few things to look out for. But because you lost that part of the map, your angles are now extremely open. And the way of that more flex defense and depth that was being run by the defenders it works is that it requires you to have some sort of anchor position to play around, and that position is holding the hallway, peeling off bit by bit in, again, defensive depth, defense and depth, going all the way back to the Aviator Games Room. But that takes a while to get there, and not 30 seconds and 3 players down for it. Look at it will take a bit of damage, same for Destiny here. They exchanged it pretty much. Still left Softwall on the side, and similar setup by the Mira. But 90 is being hotly contested as we speak, with Bedroom and Astronomy taken control of by the attacking side of Team 1.
Yeah, and that's kind of the issue here is, and that's the difference between last round and this round, is that YeaH Gaming last time lost the manpower extremely early on for holding down 90 if you're going to play it soft like that. This time around, they got the manpower. They are taking a little bit of damage, though, as Destiny was able to, I guess, pull a rabbit out of the hat there and pull his best Houdini act and get at a dodge and diving off the balcony. Luca will now be down. Not sure if he'll be able to be cleaned up here. No, he'll be revived by a teammate. A Nitrocell on the window. No, Destiny, pull the trigger, man. And oh no! What the hell are you doing? Destiny blows himself sky high with the Nitrocell. There is not anyone in the same area code to come pick him back up. He is going to bleed out downstairs. Looks like Scorpion is trying to retreat and help him out. This is going to leave 2 members downstairs on an extremely low HP. Reduct could jump in and try and collect both of these for free, but honestly, the distraction is ample enough for Team 1 to start the onslaught into the objective.
Mistakes were made.
We'll get him next time. What the hell did I just watch?
It happens, man. It happens even to the best players out there. With that said, rotation hole had already been opened up here. And I think that was the Zofia that actually opened it up from the attacking side, looking at the angle and how it's opened up from closer to the 90 angle. Drone's been destroyed as Guy will try to fight, but Reduct will take him out. Falls looking down to the stairs. Nobody moving in. Takes a bit of damage from his own grenade, but is able to find the kill. Scorpion taken away. Not much health there for the Jaeger to really be able to fight, but there's so little time left. Frizzell will get a kill onto Ska. PDRN on the second one. Reduct is taken away. Frizzell looking to pounce. That's Nitrocell thrown out. They know that the attackers will have to rush right into them. 2 seconds left. The Capitao actually doing work against his own teammate. The Falls needs to land this ASAP on the rotation. The Valkyrie will take damage spraying in from the side and will actually get the down. The foot of the attacker just shown there. And a completely different angle being shown at the end. That was very unfortunate, but that's what defense and depth does for you.
I mean, a redemption story, I guess, for Destiny.
Let's not talk about that, okay?
Blew himself up, but is able to come back upstairs and down the man trying to get the plant down. Hey.
Always look on the bright side.
It worked. It worked, all right? We talk about are things stupid if they work. Maybe there's an argument for both.
I don't want to use that sentence because I think it's a ridiculous thing to say that, oh yeah, but if it works, it's not that stupid, is it? Well, you got lucky there, son.
I mean, it's a case-by-case scenario. Is blowing yourself up with a Nitrocell intelligent? No. Was it a mistake, though? Obviously, it was not intended.
No, it was completely intended. Because at the end, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna save the round, and I'm gonna make sure I do it in the most pompous way possible. And
I mean,
I believe that was fairly pompous.
It worked. Props to Scorpion on the save there as well, getting that revive down.
Oof.
Full sight was surrendered by YeaH on that one as well. It comes down to the dying seconds. I really want to give props to Frizzell as well with that shotgun playing point-blank range on the Aviator door. He's able to pick up 2 kills, almost a third. His Nitrocell got shot out in midair when he tried to throw it at the door frame as well. So it's myriad of unfortunate events for YeaH Gaming in that round, but yet they still prevail and they walk away victorious. And we're not trending towards a 6-0, at the very least here for YeaH Gaming. You got to take what you can get at this point. Any sense of momentum here will be monumental. And for them being on the defensive side, like I said, they're starting on the advantaged side for Villa. The way that the map plays out in every region, at every level, it is a defender-sided map in the current meta. So for Team 1, get as many as you can here. And again, they were able to overwhelm the site in the dying moments. Scorpion, though, will start things off right for YeaH Gaming as well, continuing on a bit of that momentum, as there'll be 2 members entering in through study. It's a full far start clear right now for Team 1, but they'll lose their Capitao.
It's a bulletproof camera that was set by the mute, but you're usually expecting somebody to be playing by Games Room, and in this case, the angle even through Aviator has been locked down by the Maestro. This is something that a lot of teams figured out, including, well, Red Devils in the past playing against Team Liquid on this map, where, yeah, sure, you want to push in from the other side, that's great, but we're going to have actually players to play against you. We're not going to give you this whole thing for free. It's good Goomine here to be set, but let's look at they'll find the kill on Scorpion. There's still players close up here to fight, and that's the Maestro on the opposite end, but nobody in 90, which at least will give some sort of flexibility for the attackers now to try to get into a better position. YeaH will have to escape with his life, but he actually puts himself in a bit more of a difficult position to rotate from, and actually is able to move away. There's really nobody holding that angle because the Thermite doesn't really want to expose himself, and the Capitao being dead is, you know, a bit of a detriment because that's less angles that you can hold and lock down rotations. Scadiola peeking, and he doesn't see the Maestro just yet, and the Goomine just chipping away at the Nomad's health.
You've got Destiny, who's been a little eager to peek and hasn't really been able to bring much from it. Not bearing a lot of fruit on these aggressive plays. That's an odd impact. I didn't actually catch if there was an Evil Eye placed on that bench or not, but nonetheless, it'll be Luca to send out an impact from the lifeline to blow the bench sky high as well. Falls now setting himself up on that balcony. You've got some bolt hitters from PDR on the Valkyrie, so changing roles here for the, I guess, the all-star player for YeaH Gaming based on what we saw on Coastline. The only member really that was doing a whole lot of the YeaH. You still have a Valcam though, providing unlimited amounts of intel. For YeaH will provide some scare tactics. We're down to the dying seconds. 20 seconds left, and it's up to Team 1 to overwhelm the site once again, as they've been so excellent at doing so far. Rise will collect one head to the mantle, as that'll be Destiny, and it's a volley from Team 1, leaving YeaH alone in the shotgun. He can't even land that onto Falls. Plant going down. It won't even be necessary. Falls will collect the kill. 4v4 with less than 20 seconds remaining, and Team 1 overwhelming the objective again. So strong in those dire moments when it gets down to desperation mode. Team 1 really know how to convert, and they've been winning their gunfights left and right. It's been really, it's been working out for them. So YeaH Gaming will drop another round on the defensive side.
2 rounds on the attacking side is the minimum you're looking for. A third one is when you're going into positive territory. This is, again, as you mentioned very astutely, Rob, that Villa, defensive side maps, you really want to, it is the most defensive sided map. So you really want to kind of take your time through it. See if this continues, though. Because so far, a lot of work and a lot of damage has been done. And this really affects YeaH Gaming's morale. And I said this multiple times. The morale aspect is very difficult to describe and really put a handle on because it's very subjective. And you really need to know the players and how they react. And it very much is about your feelings and how you are in a situation. And maybe this has more an effect than we think, and we hope it doesn't. This is what experience usually does to players, allows them to handle those sorts of feelings, at least in the game. Let's not talk about other things. Controlling feeling is more difficult than what most people would think, isn't it, Robert?
I wouldn't know. I'm a robot.
Actually, that's a very good. That's a very good. I mean, not many people would dive headfirst into a snowbank, but you did.
Hey, that was for charity. Relax.
No, I'm saying it's complete. I didn't say anything negative about it. I just said that's very good, especially if it's for charity. So good on you there, bud.
Just trying to save some gorillas, man. God.
Look, man, I'm not that hairy, okay?
You're not in need of saving, bud. You're just fine. There'll be a lot of drones going out for a far side clear once again from T1. Skydola now is going to take the engagement against Scorpion. And on this drone, Ray Duct has actually swapped off the M249. The weapon was providing so many kills for him last time around with that new scope and 100 rounds in a box magazine. Now Scorpion will be pinged out from this drone as Ray Duct is just trying to back him off, and the pre-fires won't land. Scorpion will be able to evade the ensuing fight. He'll vault all the way downstairs, looking to go for a flank. That's kind of been the problem in this game so far, is that Nomad has been running every single attacking round. Not too many members and not many air jabs have gone off, but just the fear, knowing that there's a Nomad on the map, has been difficult for any tempting flankers. It's been Scorpion and Destiny on the roam for YeaH Gaming that really haven't had much effect on either Coastline or Villa thus far.
Pretty end still in Astronomy. This is taking quite a while from Team 1 to kind of find their island, their foothold before advancing in. And there's still very much the threat of impact grenades that you have to worry about, and well, nitro cells, etc. And a minute 15, you really haven't even started working on positions like the bedroom. It's not great. And you're just now destroying default cams on the outside. It means that Team 1 were very preoccupied with their push on the opposite end by Aviator Games Room. And it really didn't end up doing much for them. Nitro Cell used up and Radok taken away. Frizzao just jumps out but gets taken away. Falls the opposite angle of the window here, working well for him. But the loss of Capital for the Mute, I think that's a pretty darn good trade for the defense, if you ask me, especially with so little time left.
And that's the problem, is the Team 1 have been just flawless on site executes, even in the dying seconds. And Destiny, constantly being droned out, will be pushed away from his position. Scorpion triggered an air jab as he was trying to maneuver his way up those far side south stairs, but he's going to rotate over towards the east stairs now, trying to come up red on a flank onto these attackers. And once again, we approach the dying moments. No mash control, and YeaH taking an onslaught of fire now as he'll be dropped down, but PDR will collect the kill. The plant going down from Rise, and all the pings coming out as Scorpion's going to turn the corner. He's got one free, but Falls on the trade will drop Scorpion. There goes the man carrying the diffuser, though, as Falls gets two. He's got YeaH and PDR to find with 7 seconds ticking down against him. One inside of the bathroom on a rotate, and that'll be the one to evade, as PDR will eventually fall, but the time will expire on the dream there for Falls as he was going on a rampage. Just could not lock out the final kill. Time the enemy of Team 1 on that round, and time the enemy on the attacking side for the majority of Team 1. We're through the first 2/3 of the first half anyway, and we stand level at a 2-2. It's a much closer game than Coastline.
That's for sure. And the flanks have been a lot more effective this time around, so that's obviously a great thing for the defense of YeaH Gaming, but I hope that they're going to start chaining more rounds, because 2 is the baseline for the attackers. If you give them 3-4 rounds, which is very much still possible, that's where you're getting into difficult territory when you're readying up for that second half. So I hope this series continues on, and hopefully we'll have Bank to be played in this first best of 3 of the evening. Remember, there's one after it. I know, with Relegations, we always have to remind everybody that, hey, this is all BO3 with overtime, limited that is, right before we go to our Pro League finals for the season, which, if you're going to Italy, we hope to see you there, because, my God, I'm so excited to go back to Milan.
Same.
You as well. You didn't get any time to go around the city. And trust me, it is so worth it. And with the crowd that's prepared, with the amount of the Italian crowd that's there, and what we got to experience in Euro Cup in October of last year, very much excited to see what this very European and very Italian crowd has to offer for Pro League, because Italy has a couple pretty decent teams that we saw actually in CL before. Maybe we get to see more of that in the future.
Reloading.
Maybe this is the push that they need to kind of get the motivation in, because we've seen players like Chala, for example, watching through Invitational 2018, and Newcomb playing at Invitational 2019 in the quarterfinals, playing against G2 and before that against Empire. A lot of storylines are built around these events, and they inspire many, many people to pick up the mantle and the torch and move through into professional play.
So, preoccupied with the roam game here will be Scorpion. He's changed operators once again. Was rocking the Jaeger there for a while, but now he'll flex over onto the Pulse, triggering a Legion Mile, be one of the attackers, Skydola. So he pushes in through Master, and it's been kind of the same repetition here for Team 1, depending on which site they're pushing through. They just want to push far side on the top floor. They've done a lot to clear out the bottom floor, though, and that's kind of what has been left for the defenders to utilize as flanks. in the beginning, YeaH Gaming really tried to hold Master Bedroom extremely hard, and we saw how that just did not work out for them, losing their gunfights one after another inside of that Master Bedroom and the statuary area. So YeaH Gaming have killed off, and talk about the roamers not having much effect with the Nomad in play. Last round, like you said, the flank from Scorpion, monstrous. He'll now get droned out downstairs, and the Doka be a change here for Reduct as well, as he's swapped off the Capitao entirely after changing weapons last round. So it's an alteration here. But again, we eclipse the midway point in the round, so already YeaH Gaming have done their job of at least distracting Team 1. It's going to come down to those dying seconds pushes once again for Team 1, and they've won the majority of them. But it looks like YeaH Gaming is starting to pick up on this.
Yeah, and at least this time, with the sites that are going to attack the Aviator Game Room, you don't have the same level of setup that's required before you head in compared to the site we were on before in Statuary. So here you really just have to face these many angles that have been opened up by YeaH. And we talked about it earlier on in this matchup that in this sort of defense in depth, where there's a lot of open holes, and especially now the pulse to worry about, damage from below and a lot of runouts and plays such as that, really something you have to worry about if you're on the attacking side, because more manpower really has to scare you in this situation. YeaH will find the kill, but takes a lot of damage in the meantime for Zhao. A bit of damage done with a grenade. The diffuser's on the floor. The pulse nowhere to be found. It's taken away. Peter N with one. Rise and Reduct with one of their own. Guy is the last man alive. The drone has been taken away. He has hold of the diffuser here, but they can find him. Rise to the last 2 seconds. Comes in. Takes Guy off, and Team 1 will put the 3rd run on the board already. Extremely positive. Looking through in the first half here on the attacking side of Villa of all maps. Not too shabby.
Much closer game than on Coastline. My thing here for YeaH Gaming is this vault wall rotation. It's starting to get on my nerves a little bit, I guess is the easiest way to put it. You ban out the Hibana, so clearly you have a penchant to impact trick. You want to impact trick. All they have is a Thermite or a Mav. You've got soft walls behind mirrors right now that allow the ability to fight away a Mav if a Maverick would ever come out close to a wall. So at this point, there hasn't been a whole lot done to, I guess, warrant the vault rotation. If you had someone locking down, I guess, the end of the hallway towards like the study hallway at the bottom of the south stairs on Team 1, you know, pushing multiple sides of the map at the same time to stop your rotation in, then I understand, but that hasn't been the case. Team 1 have been single-minded, at least in their initial entry on the far side of the map, every single time. They push Bedroom, they push Statuary, and they push Cross, and that's their push on this map. They finally made one change with Reduct going downstairs on the Dokkaebi. Didn't even find Scorpion, and just eventually rejoined the rest of the rush. I'm just really confused at why they're continuously keeping Vault Wall open, whether they're leaving it soft or putting the rotator themselves, but not investing the manpower into holding it. That mirror window that's placed on the bar wall, it's helping with visibility for anyone pushing the door, but you can't see anyone inside of that cubby at 90, and then that mirror has to play a double angle. He has to keep bouncing back and forth and back and forth. So for YeaH Gaming here, it looks like they have altered the plan here. There's no Mira coming out this time. And Scorpion is going to start things off on a Rise. He'll lose half his health for it, but there goes the Nomad, so possibly some more flanking potential here for YeaH Gaming. That Vault Wall, though, seems to be a linchpin here in the setup for YeaH Gaming.
And I really want to emphasize your point even more than you did, because YeaH banned the Hibana, yet they're not actually using that ban effectively because they're not using the reinforcement effectively. And you've seen when time gets short, Team 1 either have a beautiful execute on site or just fall flat on their faces. And that's really what you're looking for as the defenders. So why not just play more reinforcements? You can see that Team 1 aren't bringing much in the Heartbreak department because they're very limited. And they want to play that Twitch instead of going for an operator like... You know, hey, you can have the Jackal in general to kind of scout around, but having the Maverick would be great as well to open up holes. In general, you're staying too much on one type of attacking lineup for the operators, and if the Hibana was available, we'd see the same thing as we did back in Coastline. Frizzell will find the shot on to Scadiola, and that's a pretty easy shot there on the puck. I'm not sure why he just peeked around the door with no drone, but Lookit will at least find one on Destiny, and it'll be a 3 versus 4. Half HP on the Bandit. C4 being prepped by Scorpion, but there's a quick QE peek as he moves back to the site.
I was going to say smart play there, but PDR will still be successful on the peak anyway. He takes a lot of damage for it, down to about 24, and the pre-fire from Lookit. Successful. PDR will fall. So have to worry about Scorpion peeking back out as that 3-speed, very swift operator. Flashbangs will ring out from Falls, and he'll self-blind himself there. Fragile and Scorpion stacking up on one another, but the rotate will be facilitated now and pressing up on the door with a shotgun point-blank range. We've also got YeaH over on top of the east stairs right now. Flashbangs again from Falls as he looks to push in, but has to dart back out. He's worried about the pressure from multiple angles now as YeaH inside of the Aviator door won't collect the kill though into Falls, and that'll be Fragile falling. It's down to a 2v2. Lookit needs to push in and clear out the back of the bar for Falls to be able to enter in successfully. The Goo Mines to worry about as well, stalling out the plant. Lookit collects the kill onto Scorpion, but as he tries to push in for the plant, Falls will fall, leaving Lookit and YeaH at a standoff. Diffuser surrendered, pressed right up against that Aviator vault door. A beautiful shot hit there by YeaH to level things at a 3-3 for YeaH Gaming. We head into the second half drawn. It's a much better result for YeaH, and again it comes down to the wire, but a much different outcome the ending of that round for Team 1. They don't have the manpower to go in for that full-scale assault as they like to do in those dying moments.
Yeah, and one thing to highlight as well in Aviator is that you saw the bulletproof camera that was set on the side of the door. It was giving information constantly on any players that were trying to move in that case the Thermite, through the door and try to assault against the Mute. That's why you didn't see really the Mute hugging the door even more, because he was relying on the information from his teammates, and that's very well done. It takes a lot of information to be sent back, and I mentioned the Jackal. The Jackal will be played to make sure they can, in this case, YeaH Gaming can deal with any roam play from Team 1. Mira switch around for the Mute. So we'll have the Mute Smoke combo, and which set will be first? We're going to go for the Statuary and Trophy Room, which actually works out pretty well for the defense quite a few times, to say the least. And the Legion Maestro combo works very well. I wonder if the Jaeger is going to be playing the usual on the other side of the map, kind of holding off the flanks on his own. Will there be any reinforcements and such dedicated to that position? Will there be more soft walls and destroyed walls to be played as we saw more in YeaH Gaming's position? We'll have to see. But look at that ton of roam hunting. Dokkaebi, Jackal, and a Nomad. That's huge from YeaH Gaming in this situation. They forego Heartbreachers completely. It's just... Is this Coastline again?
Well, I mean, with the lack of hard breaching that was going off, I mean, did we ever see a Thermite charge go off in the first half?
No, there's literally nothing.
Yeah.
Every single round went down to kills.
So why even bring the hard breach if it's never going to get used? You got the impact tricking, you got the Hibana band, you're kind of SOL at that point.
Yeah, why just try to force it? Just kill.
Yeah, and I like this response here, like you said, from YeaH Gaming. A lot of roam clearing potential here. The real question is will Team 1 be able to evade this, or will they just steer into the skid, for lack of a better term? Just full send 3 members to the far side of the map to really turn it into a war on the opposite side. Well, we're about to find out. Destiny immediately drops YeaH for his first kill in the game, but immediately traded out by Lookit up at 90. So you trade out a Zofia for a Legion. Honestly, pretty even trade. You get the stacking utility over time for YeaH, and you've got Destiny's lifelines that could have been instrumental in trying to push down a plant later on. Maybe stun lock anyone in an animation necessary. Possibly launching out a Nitro Cell from Falls, or anyone throwing out smoke canisters. Could have gone either way, so pretty even trade. There goes one of your roam hunters. You still have the utility, though, to try and isolate one of these roamers, and, well, PDR and Fragile have to work together on that initiative. We're at the midway point of the round, though. That's kind of the only thing that's transpired so far. The far side of the map is taken care of, but now Scorpion pushing all the way into the connector. Shots in behind the bomb chassis. Won't land. A wide peak, though, will work out for Rise. There goes your Twitch. You get the rate of fire of the Alda against the F2, and the F2 falls short. Yeah.
It was, well, both players peeked pretty wide, I have to
Very
say.
wide.
And there was just no information for the attacker to play off of in that case. The Twitch just didn't have any drones to understand what's going on. And I like that Team 1 just completely fell back and realizing, okay, well, there's a lot of roam hunting. Well, what's your roam hunting going to do now? Or we're just going to stick to the site. Oh, yeah, we know they're on site, but that's kind of like, what? It doesn't really bring much to the table. You wish you would have had a heart breacher in this case, especially with this sort of map control that's available. But one of the smokes is actually going to get burned away, and a C4 will connect from Falls. YeaH will find one onto him with a refrag. Damage has already been done. YeaH with another on the rise in a 2v2. The Nomad and the Dokkaebi trying to play against the smoke, who ran out of utility. Look at, we'll find one under YeaH. No more calls from Miss Dokkaebi. It's Nomad alive with an air jab launcher, can use that to his advantage. The flash, throw it in, but it's a rotation very swiftly from the smoke. Blinded, but the air jab is going to get popped there, and YeaH will have to stick the diffuser. And this is something that can be used to the advantage of Team 1, as Lucat is trying to fall back. There's all these pins that are being given away to YeaH Gaming's side, and YeaH still has not laid down his last air jab. I hope he's got one somewhere, because the smoke turns around from the back. The headshot onto Scagiola. Now it's YeaH falling back to try and hold a wider and longer angle from the hallway. Lucat has no clue where Raz to look for. He'll fire in, and YeaH will clutch the round. The Nomad with a beautiful bit of play. No utility needed in a 2v1. Excellent.
That's tough. That's tough for Team 1, man.
That was not a good round for Team 1.
I guess my real gripe with it is the timing from the two members alive there for Team 1.
Why did the smoke just go in there?
What's the #1 rule when you have man advantage? Or you have the opponent in a 1vx? Don't give them 1v1s.
You know, I think that they were expecting the Nomad to still to be somewhere around Astronomy,
yeah,
or in the trophy room itself, because it's a Nomad, there's air jabs, you can kind of secure her back, and that makes a lot of sense, obviously. But is that something that you can always rely on? More often than not, you can as a defender, but in this case, you couldn't. The Nomad just kind of pulled a 200 IQ bit of play there, YeaH, and just kept moving around the map. And that's definitely not something you're expecting. That's why Statue was the first position the smoke went into. Not even really worried about anything, because like, well, it's the Nomad. She's just going to put air jabs everywhere. Should have looked, but
feed up and running.
That's the mistake in that situation.
I'm a little worried about the amount of intel that was on site as well for Team 1. If YeaH was able to maneuver through both objectives, get a plant down, and make it outside of the objective without ever being spotted by an evil eye, bulletproof camera, hitting any kind of intel device anywhere, that's also a soft spot there for me for Team 1. Hopefully they can readjust, because that shouldn't happen. Obviously, we talk about the clutches, and obviously YeaH had to pull out a monumental effort there to pull off the clutch, but you can never clutch without screwing up. Or without your opponent's.
Without your opponent, yeah.
Yep. And that was, seemed to be a perfect storm for Team 1 to fall out of favor on that one.
And YeaH will find the kill. Scagiola will be taken away here. Pretty, what they call, again, a bit of a freebie. No logic bomb even used, so that was kind of just, the Legion was just there. And the logic bomb will finally be deployed, just in case there's somebody looking to refrag on YeaH. Very smart thing to do, but there's nobody on that side or anywhere near the hallway. The rest of the players are kind of just holding on to the main stairs and such. T1 finally with the first call, first logic bomb deployed, will come down to the hallway, and two players, Reduct and Lucat, are flying, hunt down the Dokkaebi on their own, and maybe find somebody else in the meantime, as YeaH Gaming have penetrated the outer defenses and will come through into the bedroom, and Reduct will hear everything going on as the camera has been taken away. But there was an air jab deployed. Oh, you really have to play this correctly. You need a teammate to help you, and The Jaeger in this case is just way too far away. C4 deployed blindly and will not connect. So force reduct back.
Yeah, the Jackal Track doing a good job of identifying both roamers, and that's Rise on top of the couch, taking a couple shots at the groin area, but twitching in the hallway of Scorpion, unaware of the flank coming in from behind. A good press in there with the DMR, though. Fragile will remove the head off the shoulders of Lukid, so there goes your Jaeger, and now another one will fall. Right deck dropping into the hands of Destiny, down to the wall, though will be Destiny at the hands of Falls with that Alda. Looking to peek out as there's an attempted revive coming off, a self-revive. It'll be unsuccessful. Phone calls will continue to ring out, but no one will have the time or the presence to be able to pick those up right now. You got Fragile looking in from the back, and now you've got two pushing in for the site plant coming down, hitting an air jab, but in the smoke. The attacking smoke actually being a disservice. Another air jab. Rise having a bad time, but the ping's coming out in behind that trophy case. Shotgun in hand, but he can't pull the trigger. Falls will drop for Fragile, though. The plant successful here from PDR. Behind will be PDR in behind that trophy case on the deck. YeaH Gaming, 2 successful rounds on the attacking side on Villa. We might be going to bank here after all.
Yep. I would not be surprised, that's for sure. So, round number 8, taken away here. 5-3 advantage for YeaH Gaming. At least the next round will guarantee overtime. So much more difficult position for Team 1, as they are looking for a 2-0 victory, at least as fast as possible, because the problem with going to map 3 in this situation is that you lose, you're going up against Red Devils after it in another best of 3. You really need to be on point, because you have like 15 minutes to kind of relax in between, but that's not really time to relax. That's more time to reset, go to the bathroom, grab a bite to eat, and then get ready to get back in, because that second best of 3, it might decide your whole fate. And, well, we saw what happened with Rise and Soniqs. These sorts of things really, you really have to keep in your mind as the pressure mounts.
This is a bit of an issue here for Team 1. Talked about it before. In both the semifinals, for each of these teams, they dropped the first round. Or sorry, the first game. First map. Words are hard. And then they're able to pull it back and win the next 2. If you're Team 1, that's got to be in the back of your head immediately. That needs to be in the back of your mind, thinking, oh, okay, YeaH Gaming have done this before. They can do it again. You're also seeing a Villa game that isn't really going according to plan. It was an even split at the half, 3-3, but now it's been YeaH Gaming tearing away with 2 consecutive attacking rounds. This is an issue if you're Team 1. You're on the advantage side, and you did a remarkable job based on the way things typically play out, drawing even at the half. Something that also does not happen all that often. But good resiliency here from for YeaH Gaming, and this is going to force Team 1 off to living room and library. An offsite with a rather interesting mirror setup inside of the piano room as well. Be very worried. There's no castle barricade. There's not really anything stopping Falls' I guess, bunker that he set up here inside of piano to be rushed upon from Destiny outside.
That's pretty cool, actually. I really like this sort of setup. It gives you a longer angle. It kind of reminds me of playing in CCTV in Border all the way down into Fountain. Oh, did he hit it? I didn't hear it pop.
Nope.
Oh, no, it didn't register. That was so close. Well, close but no cigar, I guess, at that point. All this continue. Reduct will find 1 kill on Peter N, and that's the Jackal taken away. A bit more damage done to the Twitch, and even more. That's the Goo Mines, really. Doing their work. Valkyrie looking in and straight to the head. Domed here, Scorpion. And from the smoke, Rizal will find 1 kill. He'll try to spray into the second. That's the mirror in the back. A lot of damage done to her. But the 308 unable to really finish off the players in there. Diffuser still set on the outside. There's little left in terms of manpower for YeaH Gaming. The SMG-12 might not be the sniper rifle that it was in the past, but still can shred through people when they're so close, and as close as the mirror was in this situation. Baited in. Lukid will find the kill. A beautiful trade for Falls, but will YeaH be able to clutch again in this 1v3? Work done. A lot of fire being thrown into him because of that Maestro camera and just being pinged constantly. He literally cannot do a single thing against this. He'll keep taking damage even from above that angle that he's watching as he fires down into the Mute. The Mute is still alive. He's running out of time. He fires in. A Reduct will collect the head of YeaH, who falls. Team 1 fighting back again as they take round number 9. They deny YeaH Gaming map point.
Team 1 have to go to the least played site on Villa and the least successful defensive site on Villa to get a defensive round win. But nonetheless, they prevail. We now head to dining room and kitchen, so Team 1 avoiding the top floor now after being unsuccessful on both objectives. Top side, they're going to avoid it like the plague. They're going to head to dining room and kitchen to play all 4 defensive sites in 4 rounds. We're entering into round number 10, and this will be another pivotal one. As you mentioned, there's overtime, and with YeaH Gaming clinching a round win at any point before the end of regulation, it'll force overtime. There are no draws. It'll head straight to a 3-round overtime. So if you're YeaH Gaming here, you're probably just focused on getting 1 for right now and letting the rest fall as it may. For Team 1 here, you're looking to run the table. You can still come away with a 7-5. Or, at the very least, you need 2 to just force overtime. And again, forget about it, reset in overtime, see what the coin flip presents you as far as what side you're on. And honestly, I don't think coin flip is you're going to make as much of a difference in this one. I mean, we had a 3-3 split in the first half. And if we go to overtime, it means we're going to have another 3-3 split.
On a theoretical level, though, it's Villa, it's defensive side.
Should be defensive sided, yes.
But we ended 3-3 at the half, which is not your usual scoreline, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So yes, theoretically, it kind of deviates from the practice and the situation. So yeah, definitely something to spark your curiosity watching as we are. But Rise, in the meantime, trying to collect information here. He is supporting one of his teammates there. I assume that's the alibi. Did I just assume?
How dare you? It's 2019.
Well, the alibi actually has been doing a decent chunk of damage, at least in general, the operator. Not everybody likes the operator, but she does bring a decent chunk of stuff to the table, I have to say. And in this case, the roam play with the amount of ways that you can confuse your opponents, it really works. Yeah, sure, yeah, okay, well, you can shoot it, you can spot it with the IQ, you can drone it out. That's fine. But in times of danger, it works out well. And there's not really much in the way of utility that would be used on the opposite side of the map here in Aviator and Game Room, but it did draw down just over a minute. But this gives YeaH Gaming now a huge bit of advantage, but the C4 can be thrown above here to deal with YeaH, and there you go. The alibi doing work, and Scadiola will peek around and find Destiny as he maneuvers around to put himself in a better position. The Zofia and her impacts taken away. For this attack, you need that top map control before going down to the kitchen.
Attempted flank there from Ray, Duck the Valkyrie pushing up those red stairs, and yet there was no reaction from Destiny. He pushed headstrong into the engagement and lost out cleanly. Scadiola walks away at 100 HP. PDR, though, will take down Luca inside of the trophy room, and again, pressure from the backside. YeaH, though, will take down Ray Duck, pushing into the bathroom again for Zhao, unable to collect the kill as he looks into an entirely new dimension while looking down the barrel of his gun. You got 2 members on the YeaH Gaming attack right now, low on HP, and for Zhao and YeaH, the Jackal Track will come out onto the member inside a bathroom. You got Zhao still downstairs on the shotgun, trying to provide support, but downed upstairs will be Scadiola, taking down PDR, leveling things at a 3-3. Zhao, though, has been downed as well at the door frames. Now you got Scorpion trying to push in. Falls will take one down from downstairs, so Scorpion will trade that out on Scadiola, leaving us at a 2v2 health advantage cleanly on the side of Team 1, and the utility as well. You still have all 3 Toxic Babes and a Nitro Cell on the side of Rise and Falls. This is looking really good for Team 1 to win out again downstairs.
Rise and Falls. Reminds me of an old game. Rise and Fall. Civilizations at War. Maybe somebody knows about that. But Keen Scorpion last 2 alive. I really have to highlight the way that the smoke was playing with the shotgun downstairs because he was holding the other angle coming in from Astronomy. So the alibi had to hold the opposite end, the entrance from the bedroom itself, but unfortunately the amount of firepower is just too much to deal with. Little time left as the last bit of smoke has been used up. And there's so much to be used here. Firepower is pure with the shotgun. Scorpion will find 1 kill. The Nomad taken away, but right to the face of Scorpion to clean up Falls. And the attacking side will take round number 10 somehow. Up from under Team 1, they just rush in and fire in with the pistols. Oh my. Wow. That's guaranteed overtime for YeaH Gaming, who are now on map point. 6-4.
Okay. Okay. I want to gather my thoughts here before I start.
Okay. Take your time, man.
Being mean.
No, don't be mean.
I'm not trying to. I'm trying to gather my thoughts so I don't be mean.
Don't be mean. You don't want to be on the subreddit for the wrong reason.
So my thing here with Rise is I'm very, very curious why he rotates into Laundry as the pulse, leaving his smoke alone in a 1v2. Yes, they had to push in through a bottleneck. Yes, they had to push in through toxic gas. And yes, you have the cardiac sensor to provide calls. But Falls needs help. He just needs firepower help. If he's over by that jukebox by the record player instead of inside of Laundry behind 2 reinforcements, he's just in such a better position to help and provide support for Falls so that that flank from Scorpion can't come around his backside of the island. They played Ring Around the Rosie, and yet the Nitro Cell never came out either. There was a kill hole made in the top of the reinforcement from inside of Laundry to throw a Nitro Cell over. That never came out either. So what's the mindset there for Rise? What are you doing to help your teammate in the dying moments inside a box of reinforcements where you can't shoot through?
Staying alive.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't even stay alive. He came out of the box and it was looking at the back of the wall.
Is Schrodinger's pulse? Is he dead or is he not? He was definitely dead at that point.
I mean, regardless if he was dead or alive, he didn't have much impact on the end there, and that's well, my problem.
That's the thing, because he was in that reinforced. This is why I'm saying Schrodinger's pulse, is because he's behind a reinforced wall. He can look in and use his cardiac sensor, but there's so little time left at the end that I don't know how much I want to fault him for it. I don't want to be too harsh in it.
Yeah, I don't want to be mean, but like, what's the play?
Well, the play is I will stand in this metal box and give you information. Unfortunately, there's 2 angles to watch for, and YeaH Gaming were very smart in using the 2 angles that were allotted to them, one from the kitchen and one from the other side, walking in by the storage room, if you will, into dining. So, yeah, oh, Scadiola, what a shot. Scorpion taken away. Is there going to be another headshot here to be found? Come on out. You know you want to. You know when you hold this angle, you're like, hey, are you going to peek? And Peter does speak, and he finds the kill. A lot of damage done to the Jackal, but Scadiola is going to get taken away. Still one more defender. Playing close up to his opponents, and Frizao actually find Lukit for free. The 2 Italian ops now taken away as Destiny will find Reduct. And that's Legion off the board. Rise and Falls. The last 2 alive yet again. The drones will be found and taken away, but that means that rear position is now revealed, and at minute 15, first smoke canister will get used. No matter what's inside it, it's definitely a waste.
It's a 2v4. It's not an insurmountable task here for Rise and Falls once again. Let's hope that Rise is able to support his teammate a little bit better this time around. You got Falls playing in behind the mirror from inside of Astronomy, and you got the alibi pings coming out, choking out to the gas. That's actually just dropping the diffuser in the middle of the connector. Staying at the backside. A Nitro Cell does come out from Falls here. Look like the kill on the Destiny and pushing the hallway. Rise will take down PDR. So now we level it at 2v2. Diffuser again surrendered inside of this connector. He had a retreat coming up the east stairs and Falls unaware of it. Close on his right-hand side, though. Frizao will fall and retreating again. A 2v4 set to a 2v1 now as Diffuser is still not picked up by YeaH. He was able to 2v1 clutch on the Nomad while attacking this site previously. He's looking at a hologram in behind that statue. He's got an air jet placed at the stairs, waiting for that potential flank. He'll push into statue array with 15 seconds left. The flashbangs come out to reveal his position. He's going to try and set the plant down on a fake, though. Rise will peek the angle, and there goes YeaH as he pushes in for that plant inside of the statuary door. Team 1 able to pull themselves out of a hole. They're 1 round away from forcing overtime, but also 1 round away from this going to map 3.
And I was my head in the meantime was just screaming, not again, not again, not again. YeaH was so close to winning out that round in the Nomad. Just beautiful play. The alibi hologram coming in to save the day, even though the alibi was long gone by that point. And that's why you set it up in these positions that are your traditional pre-fire spots. There are traditional spots for, you know, a pre-EMP, etc. There's also those traditional pre-fire spots. The Thermite actually being picked up here instead of the Jackal. YeaH Gaming realized that the Jackal wasn't really doing too much. The smokes as well were not really effective, I have to say. But similar lineup to be brought in by Team 1 as we saw before. The Alibi, the Maestro. A bit of a change in who's playing what, but the Mira again, the Legion, and the Valkyrie. And they're going to play in Aviator Game Room, and a site that usually works out pretty well for the defenders. And Team 1 are also running this sort of same defense that YeaH were doing before. Defense in depth with a lot of flexibility in soft walls and destroyed walls, including one into the gun vault, which is very unusual.
Team 1 here, like I said, send it to overtime. You still got a chance of wrapping this thing up, and you win 3 out of the next possible 4 rounds, and you're in Pro League.
Yeah.
It's over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to stress. However, you lose this round, or subsequently 3 out of the possible next 4 rounds, you've got an issue where you have to go to map 3, which will be Bank. And Bank is a map, to the best of our knowledge, provided by Liquipedia, that neither of these teams have played yet during the regular season. So we have yet to see what their kind of outcome would look like on Bank and what their history is on the map. Although, given it's Bank, it's a very Latin American favored map.
I mean,
wouldn't be shocked if they do well on it, if both teams are well practiced on it.
I mean, YeaH played it 1-7-2 against Loki in the semifinals, the playoffs that we just had. Speaking of shocking, it was also banned by them in that matchup. On Team 1's side, they did not play it in the playoffs. And again, we're kind of running on minimal information at this point. But still, this is what we have, and it was played and was very well done by YeaH Gaming. I assume that's why they were really looking forward to that map. We'll see if we even get to it. Still potential for Team 1 to take this into OT, and then maybe that coin flip would work out in their way for Zhao getting a free kill, and another one falls, and Luca just kind of locking in there. Destiny spraying in. He'll find the kill on Scadiola, but the site's completely clear. It's what is going on? The Valkyrie's last alive. YeaH will find 1 kill. He'll find the second one as well from the back, and there's another one spotted, but YeaH will peek around, finish off YeaH, and that is map number 2.
Yep.
Done and dusted. That was anticlimactic as a round, I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do, and indeed. The Dokkaebi was absolutely wonderful. Frizzell played out of his mind in this matchup. And being able to hunt down the roamers, not giving any room to move for Team 1. Really, really good play there from him. And the entire team just kind of maneuvering around him at the same time. We're giving him free frags at that point. 16 on the board, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good.
So, an opportunity to lock things out. Team 1 really tearing away with a couple attacking rounds in the first half on Villa. Already up a map, and yet it just falls apart on the top 4 defenses. They can't get a top 4 defense on Villa to save their life tonight. And that's going to send us to Bank. It's a scary proposition if you're Team 1. Again, you lost the first map in your semifinals.
And YeaH Gaming also won this map 7-2. So they won most of their rounds on the attacking side, 4 rounds.
And Team 1 notoriously had the choice between Oregon and Bank. Very well practiced and have a good history on Oregon so far during the regular season, and yet they chose Bank.
All right. Well, we'll get to see what happens in there. After our break, I won't be taking off any more of my clothes, but I now realize that all my clothes are way too big. So now I see what you have to deal with, Rob.
It's tough.
On that beautiful note, we'll be back. Map number 3, Bank, in just a few minutes.
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in the very first best of 3 of the evening, and we head into our third map, Bank, Rob.
Yep.
We didn't really expect this, especially at the end of the map, first map.
No, we saw Coastline come down as a 7-1. Wasn't really expecting Villa to be all that close either, considering Team 1's history, or like very recent history on Villa. It was looking like Team 1 had this in the bag, but their defensive set struggling will force them onto map 3. This is difficult. Like you said, YeaH Gaming winning 7-2 last week on Bank in the CL, or yes, that was just a few days ago, actually. That was on Saturday.
That was on May 5th?
That was on
Yep,
Saturday.
No, May 5th was Sunday.
Was it?
6th was Monday because I was flying back on Monday, which was May 6th.
Well, it was Saturday their time. It was Sunday our time. It was early in the morning.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Just
Math.
glad.
Time zones.
Very
It's tough.
smart. Can we all just, okay, 5 seconds. Can we all switch to UTC and just be done with time zones? Thank you very much. Continue.
Interesting dream. Dream small, kids. Dream small. Bank, like we said, Latin America favored map for a very long time. Storied history for basically every single team in Latin America on Bank. It's hard not to be good on Bank if you're from Latin America.
You literally are born good on Bank.
Yeah, you go through preschool. You know, the game wasn't even out
Learning
yet,
Bank.
but you're running dry runs on Bank. So for both of
Interesting
these
info
teams,
into the scholastic system in Brazil. Please.
for both of these teams on this map, I mean, it's kind of a coin flip right now. We have more recent history on the side of YeaH Gaming, a very dominant performance just on Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Bank
for
7-2. I mean, what look at the bands? Habana caught it banned for them. They played against a Thatcher Echo band. Obviously, the Thatcher
Those are some weird bands.
weird.
No, it's just the way that they all came out. So you're taking out the Hibana
And
and
the
the
Thatcher.
Kite. That's weird. Typically, you take
then-
one and hope that the other team doesn't take out the other. You're taking one because you want to play the other.
And that's the thing. The Thatcher was banned by it was it was YeaH that banned the
What?
Habana. Then the Thatcher was banned by Loki, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna ban Kite, which makes sense
Yeah.
in that situation because obviously the bans happen to attackers to defenders.
Yeah,
It's
so
not-
it would have gone Hibana, then Thatcher, then Kite. Or no, Hibana, then
Yeah.
Thatcher, then whatever they ban on defense, then Kite.
then Echo, then Kite, which makes
There
a
you
lot of
go.
sense in the way that it's done.
I guess. Okay. It makes more sense when you put it into like
You're satisfied.
context of the order. It caught me off guard there.
If only somebody knew that context means quite a bit for many explanations.
Kind of does. Kind of does for a lot of things.
With that said, though,
Yep.
the bans in total make a lot of sense, and it wouldn't really surprise us to see that coming into this match. Maestro
Yeah.
probably will be a staple in play.
I'd imagine a replication of a lot of those bans. Maybe not all 4 of them. See, because, man, I've just been banning out Clash left and right tonight. Both games they've banned out Clash, so clearly they have an issue dealing with her. As far as this series as a whole, though, it's been very attacker-sided. Coastline, 6-0 on the attacking side, and then
Oh man,
another attacking round in round 7, and then a defensive round in round 8. So you go 7-1 on the attacking split for Coastline, and then Villa there, that would have been 3, ends in a 7-5, so it would have been a 7-5 actually in favor of the attack. So Math. We're getting ready, though. We're underway. It's map 3 between YeaH Gaming and Team 1 on Bank. We got to go the distance, because of course we do.
As always.
As always.
I mean,
but the winner of this game gets automatically promoted into Pro League in Latin America for next season. The loser of this map will move on to face Red Devils just moments after this game has transpired. And they'll have to play Red Devils for that other Pro League spot.
I think, given the fact that this is... It pains me to say this, but I have to reiterate. Your final day on the online broadcast here in Pro League.
Yes.
Because that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if both games go to distance through all 3 maps.
I wouldn't be shocked.
So...
It's like the SI curse all over again.
But it really... You have no idea how much of a... How painful it is for me to say that. But tears aside.
We're getting almost identical bands.
Yep. So far, all is true, and Echo at the end would make a lot of sense. Echo, Mira, kind of, they're there.
Echo, Mira, Maestro, Clash,
I don't think
Pulse,
either team is going
Valkyrie.
to pan the Maestro, and because they didn't play Pulse much, it's a very strong operator and Bang. I don't think that'll be a ban, but Echo would be at the end. So, literally a mirror of what we had just a few days ago.
That's interesting. So for a series that has been so attacker-sided, we lose a couple operators that have really been helping out on the attacking side and have really swung things in the attacker's way. Saw the Hibana for those first 6 rounds on Coastline, doing a decent job of at least poking some holes in the defense. And then banned out on Villa was Hibana. Hard breaching just didn't become a thing. But Bank will be very different than Villa in that set, where defending downstairs will be a lot easier, but we're going to start upstairs, and here comes a clash. So it looks like Team 1.
Oh, man.
And we don't know because we don't have VODs. So we don't know if this clash ban coming out from YeaH is, wow, we really hate Clash, or wow, Team 1 are really good on Clash. But nonetheless, we're going to find out here, I imagine, real quick in this first round, whether it's Team 1 realizing, hey, they banned Clash in 2 maps in a row and finally let it through. Maybe we should give it a shot, or if this is Team 1's playbook.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll explore it together. So put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Hold them very, very tightly. Get close to the fire and sing Kumbaya as we try to figure out if this Clash thing makes sense or does it not. There are many things in store for us today.
Should be a flight attendant.
I think the hosting career is definitely aiding the whole flight attendant thing. So one day, you will see me on a random flight. Probably not Air Canada.
What's wrong with Air Canada?
Actually, nothing, because they have very good ginger ale. Speaking of which, I haven't had soda in like a month, so it's a good thing. Unlike you, from what I've heard.
Shh. Red Bull courses through my veins.
I don't think we can say that.
Energy drink.
Yes.
Energy drink courses through my veins.
Indeed. So, with that said, the dock on this sort of site makes a lot of sense, right? You have a lot of long angles you have to fight, healing up your teammates. Healing up the Clash is going to be pretty good. Making sure the Clash can just stay in the hallway and lock it down for as long as possible, really sweet. What do you trade off by having the Clash and the dock in the situation? Well, you're not going to have a castle or a pulse. Both operators would also be great. Castle to just barricade off these windows that are so easily taken away by YeaH. Would give them a huge bit of line of sight all the way down into the site, or at least very close to it. A lot of things that you lose out, but that's, again, your decisions and how you prepare for them. So the Thermite's going to start opening up in here. There's impact grenades to be used by the Clash, which is also an extra thing that we forgot to mention, that those impact grenades can do the work. However, it's a crouch Thermite charge and is set on the side, and as you can see, the hole has been opened up. Not as big as you'd like, so it's a really okay heckin' hole coming right up.
So you're able to penetrate into the left side of the CEO walls, but you've got Rise to contend with on the Clash, and he's continuingly being a nuisance here. You got Skyjola as well, peeking out towards Destiny on this north rappel, and Geese still out on those main lobby windows. He's going to finally get off that rappel and head in towards ATMs. It's a lot of pressure locking down any possible rotations on the side of YeaH Gaming, but we're approaching the final minute, and Rise is doing battle now with both members trying to push their way into the objective. Destiny on the Ash on the North Repel and the Thermite of PDR just outside on the balcony. Skydola will go for a dive, but it won't be successful. YeaH will collect that kill. Scorpion as well onto right duct, and the flashbangs come raining in, blinding out Falls. Inside of the conference room and turning the corner with ease will be Fragile on the Maverick, leaving a 1v5 here for Luke. As finally his fallen comrade will be collected. The rotting corpse will rest inside a conference room. The Maestro, we've seen magnificent attempts at clutches just in this matchup alone, but Destiny will stop that right in its tracks. Luke will fall. That's Team 1 trying to bring out the clash, trying to stay top floor even with a Hibana ban. Doesn't really work out for them very well. The impact tricking unsuccessful from Rise. Team 1 surrender round number 1.
And here's what happened. Everybody from YeaH Gaming was playing in the outside, right? They never actually got into the site. The only person that did was the Maverick. Had the clash been in the hallway, that wouldn't have been possible. So the clash, sure, you have the impact grenades to use, but you can easily deal with that with the Thermite, just positioning your charge correctly. And that's something that really I have to applaud PDR for, because we don't always get the opportunity to talk about the support players, right, and how they do and how they deal with these sorts of problems. But that was a very good way of solving the major problem of how do I deal with this sort of impact trick. That's how you do it. How many times have I said, crouch down and do it? A lot of people will crouch down to the middle, but where do you usually see the impact grenade come out? All it takes is 1 damage to destroy that charge. Put it more towards the left side in that wall, and it's all good to go. Otherwise, there's really no way for the defenders to really deal with it unless they're playing from below. And there was none of that to be had. There's a huge bit of play with the clash, and the dog and no pulse or such was available. Had the clash been allowed to play more in the hallway, would have seen a bit more of a different outcome to this round, just because the Maverick was just kind of allowed to walk and do whatever he wants. He collected 3 kills without really anybody bothering him. There you go, Twitch doing the usual now, destroying Maestro cameras and nom-nomming on them like they're just baguettes. Gluten-free ones as well, so it doesn't cause that bloatiness.
Okay. Interesting.
Health tips.
You got drones coming out now in towards open areas. You've now transitioned, if you're Team 1, in towards the Teller's Archives defense, and 1 Evil Eye down, 1 Mirror down. Scorpion having a lot of success so far. Nitrocell sent out there, and I guess pure desperation from Falls. And it won't connect with anyone outside of those stock windows in the balcony. Everyone who could even be remotely in range of that still perched up on top of the roof. You've got an alibi hologram being triggered towards the front door, but now you've got YeaH pressing in towards the top of square stairs. This is a good look here for YeaH Gaming. You've been able to bait out and destroy a lot of utility. Take down 1 of the only 2 Nitro cells available. You remove an Evil Eye, you remove a Mirror. You're starting to condense in onto this defense that is widespread horizontally, but Reduct, though, will stop YeaH in his tracks. Coming up square stairs, able to down off another one and finishing it off with a Deagle. There goes Scorpion on the Twitch as well. So excellent individual effort so far from Reduct. Where in the world is he going? But he's going to go for the run anyway. Detected, and finally Reduct able to land the headshot on a Destiny. Rise will take one, and now Detected going for 4 will be Reduct outside. And evacuating now, trying to pushing ATMs. PDR, nowhere to go. Man, Reduct on the Valkyrie.
Where in the world is Carmen San Valkyrie? She's detected. She's all on the outside.
Yep.
That was... It's scary when those dives come in. 2 kills collected outside, and then 1 more out to dive. Seems like Latin America and APAC both absolutely adore something called the MPX.
Hard to argue with that.
I think there is some sort of mathematical pattern that can be observed throughout these sorts of matches, my dear friend. Clash, our 6th pick here off the Jackal, or off the Jackal, off the Vigil. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a bit.
I can't believe I haven't cast it in over a
It's been over a month now,
It's been a month. Oh man. Holy crap.
Because, yeah, what's today? The 9th now? Because we're into the morning.
I believe so. Yes,
Yep.
it is the 9th.
And you were here for April Fool's week, and then had to leave.
Up until the Friday.
So
Man, it's been
Monday
a-
was the first. So yeah, it's been over a month.
Though I have to say, my visa is set, which is how I'm here.
There you go. Good job.
Won't be fired yet. Always a good thing. Because, you know, being bored in the wrong place, always a great thing. Though, Rice coming in, and that's a pretty interesting mirror window there, my good friend.
I like it.
Yeah.
Reloading.
I like the reinforcements into the loan office as well. And you got Rise playing upstairs and towards Tellers. I like this.
You know how I'd like it even more? There was a castle. Castle barricade on that doorway would have been even better. But this is pretty good, I have to say. And what will YeaH do? It would make a lot of sense for them to push it from this side, but oh no! A 1-to-1 trade and then a team kill. So that's a 2K for YeaH, right? Technically.
I think the TK is -1 kills.
So no kills.
Yeah, he just walks away
Horrible.
at a
Didn't even
net
do anything.
loss at the end of the day anyway, because you lose your IQ and you lose your buck.
I lose a bit of IQ as well.
Yeah, I like the response too. I like the idea from YeaH Gaming. I understand the premise. I understand what you wanted to do, which is they're sending it. They're holding top floor right now. Let's push in through garage where they have no view of. There's a lot of utility. There's a lot of reinforcement placed upstairs. Let's push garage. At the end of the day, the dock really able to hold that out well.
Exactly, and that's a great thing. We usually, and I specifically usually talk about the garage take later on in the round, where you're getting ready to move from the servers in to go for a plant, and a late round at around the 35-second mark, with usually Habana if she's not banned, or an IQ, flank down into the garage can do a lot of work, and usually it really does. In this case, it didn't, and this is all a response to the weird setup that YeaH observed on the top floor, and didn't really know how to deal with it early on, so they decided to just go for a completely different way of attack. Fortunately, the team kill really kind of shuts down their potential, and now, well, what can you do? Team 1 have top map control, they have the extra manpower, they have the clash as well, and they have an extra kill! YeaH will find YeaH, and now you have to really rely on Thermite to hit this. Diffuser not planted, and the C4 has been thrown up. YeaH from above will fall to PDR, but he takes a lot of damage. Falls with a quick refrag as he puts himself up in harm's way, but the clash is right in front. Rizal is last man in, and he's still hunting around with that Maverick, but there's nobody here. They've all evac'd, and the clash is looking menacingly at him. Flashbang in as he drops. Nobody firing at him just yet, and Luke will just turn around from the side of the shield and find the kill. Very well done from T1. And I have to say, I think tonight's main thing for defense is defense and depth. And it works very well.
I'm curious, so I like the setup from the mirrors upstairs, looking in towards Tellers and Teller's desk. I guess my quizzical point of it is that Hibon is banned, so typically you don't go and get that Teller's hatch if you only have a Thermite. Typically you're getting the CCTV hatch and the CCTV wall. It's got a weird opening in the flank through open area and is vulnerable to pushes down the south stairs. So there's definitely exploitations to be had against that kind of setup. It seems like it's positioned towards the wrong thing. It still worked out though, don't get me wrong. I'm just curious about it. I'm just theory crafting at the moment.
Yeah, take your time, enjoy it.
Just curious about what the emphasis is being placed upon there, why the emphasis is being placed on Teller's hatch. Because I don't think we've seen a successful vault drop in, I don't know how many years it's been since we've seen a vault drop
like
on Bank.
2 that worked.
Yeah, it's very few and
Best
far between.
one that I've seen so far that actually looked beautiful on execute was one that Obey Alliance did back in the day.
True.
And it was absolutely beautiful. I'm like, they bounced all the grenades at a perfect bit of timing. And then there was one mistake in where they looked, and Skies was left alone at the end.
And that's kind of what happens is, like, oh my.
What?
Okay, there goes Destiny. There goes your Capitao. Destiny's had a bad few games as well. Honestly, he's
not the luckiest man today.
No, and that's the thing. It seems like he's just getting caught off guard, and he's not really hitting his shots today. And I don't know if it's the nerves, the amount of pressure that's on this game. Right, I'm just going to take another engagement and get Scorpion downstairs. The Twitch is pushed away all the way in through CCTV. Should also notice, or mention anyway, that it's a staff open area defense.
With a soft wall that has actually been open for a rotation from Skylade into staff, which is unusual.
Very.
To say the least. YeaH Gaming continuing to drone in as they find many soft walls and many rotation holes, and I wonder where Team 1 actually put up those reinforcements, because they're not really present anywhere so far, and I wonder if they have a few of them in their back pocket, as people usually do with around 3 meter by 2 meter wide bits of steel and reinforcement. I have very deep back pockets for that.
Gonna need them.
Can fit 2 of them.
Got a lot of emphasis again towards Tellers and Archive. Strong pivot point here, and for Rise, the roaming Maestro as well. Curious decision. He's been kind of been on a carousel of operators so far this game, going around between the Clash and then anything else he can really get his hands on so far through 3 rounds even. Lots of shots coming in from PDR, but not a single one will land on Defaults, who has that Nitro Cell prepped again, this time aiming in towards the printer window instead of up through kill holes onto the stock balcony. You got Skydola going for a flank as well, as a flank is being held, I believe, by Scorpion at the top of square stairs. Right deck will tag in, and Scorpion will remove the head of Rise, actually. Good peek out here from the stock balcony windows. You got 3 members upstairs for Team 1. The Vault, and right after is going to drop Guy to about 20 HP, and Skydola will finish it off, but rushing into the objective now. Bull rushing headstrong. Be Scorpion with that F2. Everyone upstairs right now for Team 1 as they have to collapse back onto the objective and retake. And there goes Scorpion holding on the flank from the hallway on the south stairs. Reduct will fall, and now Skydola and Luca trying to retake from similar angles. An impact grenade onto the kitchen wall. He still lands that shot onto PDR, though. Beautiful work there from the Alibi. In the attempted retake here, the plant is completed. It'll be a post-plant scenario now, a 1v2 for Scorpion. He's got all the kills so far for his team in this round. He's going to have to clean it up with an ace. In behind the backhand covered, in behind the hatch, and now he's got pressure from both sides. The ping's coming out, can't land the shots, and the retake for Team 1 successful. They just got to find the diffuser, and they'll notice it finally. Getting that defuse, counter defuse from Luca. Beautiful retake there from the Alibi in total, and that's Team 1. A lot of emphasis topside, but it works out for them in the end.
That was a fantastic bit of smarts from YeaH, because they realized the hatches are still reinforced. So the instant they got some players off of the site itself, they just moved in. Scorpion was a very important part of that attack coming in from the archive. Everything was preset for them to plant, and it would have been successful if it weren't for those darn defenders. Because they came back in and they won gunfights that honestly Team 1 should not. They killed the Thermite that was 1 flank down, and then all you do is hold the other angles that are still available. But you couldn't, and the Twitch was just kind of cycling between 2 positions. And it's going to take a bit of a miracle to win it out. So at the end, Team 1 walk away with a 3-1 early on. If they can put 4 rounds on the board, that is definitely a great thing for them. We're at round number 5, so having won downstairs a couple rounds ago and open area, now they'll play CEO, and they can go back to the bottom floor again after it, if they so wish. So that probably might be their last decision for the final round of this half. And hey, work or not, I think I would see them in at least a 4-2 in this half.
Well, for Team 1, they've now played every defensive site at least once. They have won 3 out of the 4 defensive sites. The only one they haven't won is CEO, the one they now return to. So they have a possibility to win every single defensive site on bank, a feat that is not often accomplished.
Did they play Archives, right?
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah.
Yep, then went CEO, Teller's Archives, basement, then staff open area. Now back to CEO. And Scorpion again on the sentry downstairs. It looks like Radux got his number so far in this game. Scorpion was on a bit of a tear last round, but ultimately could not clean it up with the ace clutch in the post-plant scenario. Pushing up the south stairs, he's got to actually spot Radux, and I guess just turning away at the wrong moment there for Radux, as he was well aware of the positioning and seemed like he was anticipating the push from Scorpion up the south stairs from the basement, but got sidetracked by something else, and that'll be a free kill for Scorpion.
A bit unfortunate, if you ask me, but still, the Clash in, and the Clash is still playing inside. This is, the smarts behind this also is, okay, we can have the Clash impact trade if needed, but also another one is, well, at least somebody has to shoot at her and contain her from the windows, which leaves things more open for the rest of the defenders, which is why manpower outside of the Clash is very important in this situation. But taking her out from below is always a possibility. There's no buck in play, which kind of reduces that potential. But still, there are ways of dealing with her. Next with Thermic Charge is going to be popped, and here we go. Rise will take damage from the side and actually get taken away. So great bit of teamwork from YeaH Gaming that now eliminate 2 crucial players from Team 1. Lukit is still holding off at the top of the stairs, but now even falls off the angle to try and fight against the rappel. Very difficult angle to use, as usually there's somebody watching, but Scagiola as well will find one. PDRN. Trade one for his own. The Mira is on her own in the site, and oh no, there you go. YeaH finally be able to take down Lukit, which leaves Falls on his own with a Nitro Cell and the Mira. 42 seconds left on the clock. Diffuser still in the hands of the defenders, or the attackers, excuse me. Everything is going up YeaH Gaming.
So Falls in a 1v3. Has surrendered a bit of site control, but could flank around utilizing this Thermite Charge, and at least seems like that's what PDR right now is anticipating. And now you got Scorpion taking aim from the top of the south stairs. Falls needs to hit this shot to secure his backside flank. There's a lot of shots going back and forth. The plant is going down from PDR. Oh, a good bait there with the Nitro Cell rip, but the F2 doing the damage necessary. Falls on 5 HP, has 2 more targets to find at 100. Laying prone in the midst of the objective is PDR with a repel on the north side from YeaH. You're running out of time here as a 3 armor as well, and that vault will kill you if you vault. So Falls will have to win the shots clean to clear off the north window push, and it won't even be necessary. The Nitro Cell will soar errands, and PDR will collect a kill. It's YeaH Gaming at least bringing 1 back now. Still at a 1-round deficit, but they have the opportunity to draw even at the half. So,
drawing even at the half here on Bank is not too bad, but the rotation should be down to the basement. Teller's office, archives, though. Huh. It's curious. It is really curious. So, one thing I want to highlight, though, from Team 1's play is that even though they were, when they played open area, and even when they played the basement, they had a lot of emphasis on the floor above it. And it was always very well done. So, in that context, which is always very important to understanding these sorts of things, it makes a lot of sense for them to also play this site, because they've been pretty good at just holding in from the top floor, right? So, given that they have an alibi, they have Legion and Maestro as well, allows them to play all of these. Valkyrie will give them extra information, and having the Mira as anchor on the site alongside a Maestro potentially might help, but a lot of those Evil Eyes are going to be pretty important. And then you'll understand why the Twitch is being brought up all the time. Well, now those Evil Eyes are very weak to Twitch, and it's really tough for Evil Eyes to survive throughout the whole round nowadays.
New feed
It requires more creativity from the Maestro instead of just, I will just put them whatever I want and good luck taking them out. So in general, a lot of information that can be gathered using the Goo Mines, using the Black Eyes and the Evil Eyes, and also if you can count the Alibi and that Mira. It's just total information game to make sure that you can pick off your opponents one by one, really reduce their manpower before they even get close to the site, and take control of the top floor really gives you more of an advantage later on in the round. More time goes away, the more you can really try to bounce back.
Last time around on this objective, it was Ray ducked with a 3K of his own with the Valkyrie, getting a little brazen near the end on the vault out through those north windows, but hey, at the end of the day, got the job done. And he set off the fireworks very early with those first 2 picks out towards the stock balcony. She'll have Scorpion going in for this entry into the basement round after round after round, and has got to be getting predictable at this point. And here comes Rayduck waiting for the push. Hopefully he won't get sidetracked once again, as he does have a nice little rotation / kill hole here. Looks like he's getting a little antsy here, as the hatch above him will now be opened up, I'm imagining, by a teammate, considering he doesn't have a bullet in the back of his head.
No, actually,
yeah.
That was a teammate. Yes, very good.
Well, Rise will take down for Zhao before being immediately traded by Scorpion again by the south stairs. Just not enough pressure and no purview for Rayduct.
Falls solo, actually, in the open area here. He's got that same mirror window as we saw before. Not popped just yet. FAMAS, or the Twitch serves that double purpose in this situation, or triple purpose with the frag power, but Destiny will find the kill on Scadiola. This will force Rayduck back on the site to use the mirror window and the soft wall next to it, actually, to deal with his opponents. There's been a lot of firepower in play, and the Thermite won't play as big of a role in this round as he usually does when attacking into Teller's archives, but Rayduck is in the bomb here on A. Nobody's pushing in just yet. Droning time for YeaH Gaming, and they should be gathering information before pushing in. They have the man advantage, and Rayduck going in for a bit of a cheeky peek, which will find nothing on the other side of it, except for errant bullets. Falls will find one on Scorpion, though. Just trying to equalize the numbers. Will be successful.
A bit of a time crunch here if you're YeaH Gaming. You're running out of time, running out of resources, and you need to clamp down onto the objective, but you still have a roamer to worry about. That's Falls, the roaming Mira, looking to press out of open area. Has this kill hole opened up and a rotation hole opened up into the side of the Teller's wall. Looks like Guy is well aware of this, though, taking aim in towards the open area door, but again, time ticking away. 13 seconds left, and YeaH Gaming need to push in for the objective. That's Rayduck taking down Guy in tandem with Falls, as now PDR will fall in the trade. It's now Destiny alone, inside of the objective with no diffuser. He's able to take down Lukid, but there's no time on the clock. And will strike midnight, as that's YeaH Gaming losing another round. It's a 4-2 lead this time for Team 1 heading into the half. Not as even as Villa, not as dominant as Coastline. Just a nice middle ground.
Not too shabby. Round number 7, 4-2, as I predicted.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. We'll see if this continues to a 7-2, which is, incidentally, the victory that YeaH was able to grab against Loki in their semifinals. So, Loki, this might not be their greatest game. You know,
God damn.
Loki, they have to work a bit harder. You know, just a bit, one of the few tangents of the evening, I have to say. We've been keeping it kind of under wraps very well.
Yep.
I'm trying to fathom the whole GOAT thing that a lot of North American players and people and fans that have been using very much, quite a bit, very recently. And I understand that it means the greatest of all time.
Yep.
If everybody's the greatest of all time,
Then nobody's
nobody
the greatest of all time.
So I think, I don't know if you would like to join me on this, but for me, it's just, can we stop overusing it?
Please.
We agree.
Yeah.
That's something.
It'll be like, someone will say on Twitter, it'll be like, oh, this person is such a GOAT player. And I'm like, you...
What?
What? Greatest of all time. Very singular adjectives. But you're putting it in a class of people. You're making a thing that's meant for one person, a class of people.
The GOATs.
That's... You... Stop. Stop.
Flynn's the GOAT, isn't he?
I mean...
You hate me for that.
I do. A lot.
Not just for that.
Just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That tangent aside, I think we have agreed on something for once. Lukid will move into the main lobby. And you'll see the Maestro actually moving up to hold on to the angle from Garage. Nobody moving in against them just yet here. Of course, we have switched sides, so it's YeaH Gaming on this side. The defense, Scadiola opening in to have a bit of a wider angle to lock down anybody that tries to dive out of the main blue stairs here, and Scorpion is indeed doing so. Usually you see the Clash alongside an Ella or someone like that playing here. Not really the Pulse, but as long as nobody pushes Skylight or destroys the hatch, then you're free to go. And the instant they hear the hatch is being opened up, that's when the Pulse falls back. Very smart. You wasted time. You didn't lose anybody, and the Pulse is still alive. He'll play in the gold vault. Overall, really, really well done. Excellently done, because that's how you waste time efficiently without sacrificing manpower or being too forward in your locations.
I really like this Valkyrie camera from YeaH that's spotting out the Valkyrie of Rise, trying to punch open some holes into this hallway hatch. You've also got PDR trying to contest this, which is rather brazen, but it could bear some fruit after a while. And the Meat Jammers from Destiny at the bottom of the stairwell as well, trying to obscure the vision of the drones maneuvering down, but Rise still able to spot out 2 members of the base of the stairwell, regardless. He's got to dart back and forth between droning and pushing open and breaching open this hatch with a blowtorch. It's going to take a lot longer than typical with a Hibana charge or a Thermite charge, but nonetheless, still doable. Capitao, telltale signs of that para will ring out, and that'll be very worrisome if you're Destiny playing inside this red hall. The only member really close enough to do a whole lot of plant denial. You've also got Fragile playing inside of lockers, and there go these fixating bolts, and Destiny chunked apart. You've also got Scorpion on the calls, but Destiny down on about 20 HP. He's going to have to back off down to about 10 HP now, taking more splash damage from an explosive. Sounds like it was the frag grenade of the Buck. Now pushing down the main stairs. Ooh, almost a great reactionary shot there from Rise and the Maverick, but it's a volley now from YeaH Gaming 4. And now finally a response here from Lukid, but there's no time left. No diffuser in hand. He'll collect his 1 kill for the stat pad and push into Lockers, pistol in hand. There's not a lot here. And he'll twist and turn and collect nothing else. It's Team 1 surrendering the first round on their attacking set. A game that has been rather attacker-sided through 3 maps. Now on bank where things seem to be equalizing towards the defense.
4-3. Still can swing either way. So right now, how many rounds are left? We're starting off with round number 8 of a maximum 12 in regular time, right?
Yep.
So we only have 5 rounds, a maximum of 8 in total. You win the majority of those, you're good to go. You're in Pro League. It's that close. It really is. And for players in this situation, the mountain of stress that they're overcoming or trying to overcome, it's so tough to go through it. And they're really trying, and you can see it specifically on this map. They're really going at it. Trading blows, trading punches. There can only be 1. Maybe 2. At the end, who knows? That really depends on our second matchup of the evening. Because remember, we have 2 best-of-3. It's a second. Will be the loser of said matchup, the one that we're in right now between Team 1 and YeaH Gaming, playing against Red Devils. So the potential is there. Pain Gaming, of course, being relegated away from Pro League, being in that 8th auto-relegation position. Highly debated, but let's not get into that. Gage just setting up his reinforcements. So far, there's nothing too special. No castle being played, no pulse. It's just, yeah, and there no clash either, which is something that we saw quite a bit with Team 1 unsuccessfully.
Yeah, the top floor clash really not paying dividends. We saw the clash elsewhere from Rise on sites like Tyler's Archives with that mirror setup from Elevator Hallway. There goes a Twitch drone that we get to witness from the default camera. Ski is still utilizing that to the best advantage before swapping over to the black eye now. It's a different mindset here for YeaH Gaming. They seem to be more content with taking, I guess, head-on fights rather than trying to provide some stall factor with the clash. You've also got quite the main lobby presence right now from Team 1. Scorpion going for a run out as well towards those north lobby windows, and 2 members now down below the spiral stairwell, and a frag grenade comes soaring up and will take almost all the life out of Destiny. He's down to about 20 HP and has to retreat to safety. No doc to heal him back up. The reset won't do anything nowadays. Luca taking a lot of damage from YeaH from that MPX, raining Hellfire from above, but no one able to land a lethal blow yet. We equalize still at a 5v5 here, and time on the side of the defenders. Ooh, there goes the Maestro of Destiny, already low on HP, exposing himself in, and it'll be Luca to collect the kill. Team 1 going for a full lobby push, and there's not a lot of resistance here from YeaH Gaming.
Have to be very careful with this assault here. The smoke is going to throw out his canisters, try and distract his opponents, but the Mira in the meantime is just watching in behind her window. Make sure that nobody moves in uncontested from the front entrance by the stairs. Of course, PDR Lemire on that job. The drone comes in and not taken away. Unfortunately, the bullets will rattle off and hit the metal bar. They have a drone for rotation later on, but YeaH will get taken away now with the C4 off. There's still 1 more available. Not sure how many sets of smokes the smoke himself still has, but Rayduct will actually dive into the site, and Lucan will find the kill. A long angle for him to play. Rayduct with 1 more and a 5v1 now. It's Scorpion all on his own. He says, get over here, and he finds the kill with the player holding on to the diffuser by the stairs, but the buck comes in from behind to clean things up, and that's Skydola. Or Skadiola. Skydola is more of a Russian name. Skadiola works more for Portuguese. So I wonder what it means. Is Jenna in chat? What does Skadiola mean? Thank you very much.
Yep. So it's yet another CEO defense that's unsuccessful. That's 0 for 3 today on Bank. CEO just not favoring the defense, which is weird, to say the least. CEO is typically more defender-sided, but it's iffy. I don't know.
Kind of a mixed bag, yes. So the graphic really highlighting things so far. Rounds where everybody was killed, or one just off of kills, or ones that have the skull on them, ones with the... A bomb is basically just because, well, there was a plant down and the timer went off. One that just has a clock on it means that, well, or a pocket watch in this situation, just meant that there was no time left. So
that's also a thing that's changed a lot, is the focus in this specific map in comparison to the last 2 on both Coastline and Villa. Don't think we got many plants down on Villa either. There were a couple.
There were. In this case, there was only one, at least here on Bank, there was only 1 round that was that had the diffuser planted and was diffused by defenders. That was the open area assault.
You saw the rounds on Bank that have also ended on time as well.
There was 1, yes.
It's a variance in comparison to just the fragging fest that was Coastline and Villa.
So in that timeline that you saw, a bomb in showing the bomb in blue means that the defense was able to defuse or destroy the diffuser, disable it.
Yep.
Whatever you want to say. And if it's obviously in orange for the attacker side, it means that, well, they were able to destroy the site off of time on the diffuser itself. So there it is. That's it. Team 1 will take their sweet time right now, just setting up, making sure that there's nobody around them. And yeah, actually are not really contesting, but they're bringing the castle. And those barricades can do quite a bit of work. There's no Ash in play, but these barricades can actually work against the defenders in a weird way. Having the Capitao with his most recent change and buff, it allows you for not as much damage as he used to do, but much wider area of effect. And that AoE is just massive when you don't have much room to maneuver. Falls will find 1 kill and doesn't even need his crossbow bolts. That's the first kill on the castle. The site now is open at least from 1 flank.
That was for Zhao inside of the elevator on the main floor. Just, yeesh. Free fire and giving away his position, and Falls isn't going to miss that shot apparently through the wall. So garnering an opening now in towards the elevator main hallway. This is almost identical to what YeaH Gaming were bringing when they were attacking staff and open area themselves, which was ignore the top floor for the most part, although there's a little more emphasis from the side of Team 1 in this attacking round. But bully their way into the objective and force the defenders to retake. Falls will collect another body, though, onto the count. Skydola as well, so now everyone falling. Almost identical situation here. YeaH will be dropped as well on the floor. He'll have to be revived. He'll be finished off by Lukid. Hits a 1v5 for Scorpion as the plant's going down. A beautiful shot onto Skydola upstairs, but the plant will be successful. And 2 looking skyward up to that hatch. He's able to drop Lukid to 1, but he's on 5 himself. Maneuvering in towards those south stairs. There's not a lot here. As the plant has gone down, everyone's looking up towards the hatch. You still have a lot of utility left as well. All it would take is one zap from a Twitch drone, but it'll be the F2 to clean it up regardless. It is match point. It's series point. It's Pro League point. And YeaH kind of jumped the gun there. Game's not over yet. Oh, he crashed. Never mind.
All right. Well, we're waiting on the call rehost from our admins. And once that, there you go. It has been set. So we'll go back, we will rehost and see if things change. The momentum kind of gets killed there.
Yeah.
Some people abuse that. Let's not dig too deep into it.
Yep.
Some people don't. So I won't argue one way or the other.
Just
roll with the punches.
6-3 game. We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
No.
6-3 game on Bang. It's match point, series point.
Yep.
For Team 1 here, you have the opportunity to, I guess, not choke.
Go
considering,
to Pro League.
Yeah, go to Pro League, don't choke. You're up on match point, series point right now in this series. And you won the first game on Coastline really decisively. You had the advantage on Villa as well, heading into the defense, having won 3 attacking rounds. Like, everything so far in this best-of-3 series has gone Team 1's way, but YeaH Gaming have been remarkably intrepid and resilient in every single facet. Coastline,
no problem.
Forget about that. But if you go and look at Villa, if you go and look at Bank so far, the resiliency and just the bounce back from YeaH Gaming in a lot of those scenarios has been pretty impressive to watch so far. There's been some unfortunate circumstances and some really weird rounds, but hey, they look like they can at least hang with Team 1. The real question will be if they aren't victorious in at least 3 consecutive rounds to force overtime and then 2 out of 3 in overtime to secure themselves the Pro League spot. Will they be able to hang with Red Devils? Sorry, VNX and crew. VNX and friends.
All right.
Tell me that's not a fair assessment.
That's actually a pretty fair assessment, given the fact that they're in 7th place. So.
And they were in 4th place at the half.
Yes, they actually were very.
They were 0-7.
Yes. We'll touch up on Red Devils later on.
True.
They have their own. Yes, they have their own story to kind of go through and explain if you have been away for the past 14 play days and many weeks in between. That's like
6 months. Well, not even.
No, because you count. There was like 3 to 4 weeks to in and around Invitational. Yeah, you're looking at something like 20 weeks.
Yeah, it's been about 5 months.
It's a lot.
Because the season was supposed to start like right after Rio, a couple weeks after Rio.
Yeah, and I remember flying
for a month and a half.
Yeah, I remember flying back the instant I got my visa to come here and cast that week before going to Christmas break, and then being told, yeah, actually it was moved literally as I landed.
It's tough. Yeah, then Super Month happened. So the actual season has been condensed a little bit than what it usually is, because it is a 6-month season.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to keep doing that.
I wonder too. I hope not. Smile.
That's not a smile. Well, at this point, we can start calling it Super Year.
Yes. Definitely Super Year. Smile.
Takes a lot of super people to go through that. Super people in production teams, super people in league operations, and super casters. Which in this case, I only mean in Terror and Kicks.
Exactly.
And super audience, actually. It's a very good one. Thank you very much, Mr. Producer. Because if it weren't for the audience watching through all of these and really surviving through this whole time with us, it just wouldn't be the same, would it?
Yeah. It really is surviving. Super Month is just surviving. It's
And-
so hard to keep track of everything, just as a viewer, let alone a caster.
I remember Invitational watching the qualifiers, and as we're doing our own crunch time of that in that moment with our condensed month in January, and I went back home, and I think the video is still somewhere, where it's literally me sitting in my couch, turning on the TV, and there's like 8 streams that are live in different languages, all trying to watch the EU qualifiers, and I'm like, this cacophony of voices kind of hits me. I'm like, well, there's me trying to do my homework as a caster.
Good luck. You've only got... See, here's the problem. You've got 150 hours of VODs to watch, but you only have 4 hours to do it. So, good luck.
Yeah.
Sort your life out.
In 4 hours, if you do it on your own, you can do like a couple matches in 4 hours. If you stream it, oh, it's impossible. 4 hours is like 2
One
best
map.
of ones. 2 best of ones if they're not long. If they're like 7 threes, you can go through that. But more often than not, you have to pick and choose, and that's why you more often than not will have to watch the games live to know what's going on, or at least have watched some of those games live to kind of prepare yourself for it later and predict. But more often than not, also, and I would keep using that sentence for just a bit more, you need to sleep to be ready for the next show and prepare the next day. Yeah, we're just waiting in the meantime for our players to be back, and then we can continue with the match. Once that's done, we can actually get in.
Yeah. We're just
That's why we're
fixing
kind of
things.
going off and talking about
Oh, yeah, we're talking about everything and anything.
talking about our lives,
Yeah.
which I think I do cool things. No? Who knows? You know what's important?
What's important?
On a bit of wholesomeness, what's important is that what you do is important for you. If that's the case, what do you mean? What are you looking? Are you trying to understand what
I
it
was
means?
trying to understand what you just said.
What's important is that
I smell toast. Burning toast. It's not good.
what's important is that what you're doing on your day-to-day basis in terms of work or hobbies or whatever is important to you, because in that case, it makes you happy. And being happy is very important.
Welcome to Life Lessons with
Dude,
Gassan.
I was away for a month because I had to be away for a month. Otherwise, I literally would not be allowed to go back into the continent. But I took a bit of a wholesomeness break in the meantime. It's a brand new Millis that needs an entire new wardrobe. Smile.
Smile.
As my bank account smiles.
Yeah, credit card's not happy, but
Otherwise,
is.
everything's good. With that said, we're actually going to get into the game. We're just going to make sure that all the settings are set up correctly, and then we can dive right in. Because this might just be a one-round affair.
yeah, it could
So-
have been all for.
It could be a
one
2-minute
round.
thing, which actually, incidentally, is the name of certain... No, I'm not going to say that.
Don't. I knew exactly where you were going with the don't. No, honey. No.
All right, dear.
No.
Daragoy. Oh, man.
All right.
So, it seems like everything's set,
Nailed it.
and then we'll be good to go. It's 6-3 so far, by the way. Up for Team 1, who are still on their attacking side because they have switched. They started off on defense. So here we are.
Yep. That's where we are. We're going downstairs in the defense here. Math. Yeah. Math.
All right. This is YeaH Gaming's best shot, right?
Yep.
This site can work pretty well. We saw the Clash actually being played before by Team 1 here, very effectively. Not being played by YeaH. So it's more like a not gaming. Pulse being played. I wonder if they're going to still run the Pulse by Blue Stairs and then have him fall back later on and just play inside a Gold Vault, which makes a lot of sense, obviously. You want to peel off, but the instant there's some pressure being put on the Skylight Hatch, that's the moment for you to kind of skedaddle out of there.
Looks like YeaH Gaming are well aware of this garage push as well. So we've got an Evil Eye placed down there. No more Twitch. So looks like Scott's not going to be playing on the Twitch anymore. Going back to the Buck, C8. Very wary of either the top floor objective or back to staff open area they could have gone because they lost that before the rehost.
I think they were probably expecting this Team 1. That's why you see the 2 Heart Breachers that are played that will be perfect for this site, right? You always want to play the Maverick plus the Thermite, but it seems like they were really focusing on the push through to Garage. And, this is not going to be an easy one with the amount of information that's given them. Oh no, scratch that. Luca just turns around and finds the kill, and now the Maestro camera's down. Just moves in immediately. And actually uses the drone from the top. Oh, this is for a lot of people an unusual, how do you say, like a drone hole to use to drop your drone into that position. So very smartly done. Team 1 now in control with the Maestro down. There's not much that can be done against it. And is this going to get turned into a vault drop? It would make sense at this point. You have control of the stairs. You have control of the main lobby itself, and also you have control of Garage. So everything is going your way. You're not just blindly diving in with no control of the Garage, with more often than not actually be a position where your opponents are going to be kind of roaming around. But you will have to deal with players in the vault itself. The exothermic charge is already being used. The Thermite, though, falls back to more of a long-range support kind of role, or maybe flashing in before an assault. See how things are being timed by Team 1 if they actually have spotted the pulse in the back.
One thing I don't like about using the Thermite charge instead of the Maverick onto that Teller's Hatch is it really telegraphs where you want to go. Looks like Key was thinking about rotating in through the red vault hallway, trying to come back and hold off the angle in towards Garage, but it's unsuccessful. A drop from Raydoc will also be unsuccessful. Scorpion will remove his head for him. Rushing through, and Fragile and Destiny both on 1 HP, but down inside a server will be Rise. In behind the CCTV desk and taking fire now is Lukid. He's looking down the red hallway once again. Frag Grenade could be utilized here with no Jaeger in play, but you got a man bleeding out in 35 seconds. You got to recover the diffuser. Luca will take down Scorpion. For Zhao and Destiny, both very low on HP as those SAS brothers, and Falls will finally clean up for Zhao. Destiny still prone in behind the desk. Here's the crawling of Rise, but he won't spring up to try and collect the kill. Guy contending with asphyxiating bolts. Skydola will lock that down, so Guy will fall. Destiny last man alive as well. Rehost, all for naught, as Team 1 will now be promoted to Pro League. Welcome for Season 10.
Welcome to Season 10 indeed. So we'll get to see this roster. Maybe with some changes, who knows? But definitely in Pro League for Season 10. I'm excited to see what the fresh new blood has to offer when fighting against those big teams. Very scary in Latin America so far. We saw the fight between the top 5 even.